it seems like for a while now, we've been on a path where humanity's relationship with computers is becoming more and more intertwined. And when you look at these emerging set of technologies, what we're calling artificial intelligence, I think that we're at a point where this intertwining, this relationship is getting deeper. And there's a lot of implications to this. One of them seems to be that through large language models and through agents, a human being can do and learn far more and far faster than they ever could before. And I think when you think about something like the internet enabled that too. A kid could go on the internet and be exposed to things that they were never exposed to before. But now we're moving in a direction where with large language models, not only can a kid be exposed to new information, but the information can reorganize itself to meet the context of that kid or that human. You can ask an LLM to reorganize information in a way that allows you to understand it. You don't have to adjust yourself to understand the information. You can ask the information to adjust itself. And so I think we're moving into a world where we're about to see people do things and learn things in ways that we could have never imagined in the past. I think people are going to learn things faster than we could have ever imagined. I think we're going to see people go from one domain to another domain in ways that seemed impossible before. And now they'll just do it fluidly. In this conversation, I had the opportunity to speak with HudZah. And if you search him up on the internet, the thing that you'll find is he's this kid that's known for creating a nuclear fuser in his own apartment. But in this conversation, what was interesting was just to see how this guy came up. He grew up in Saudi Arabia, and then, he was learning Arabic and English there, and then he went to Sri Lanka. And he was just always on his computer, always at home, tinkering with the internet. And by making things, apps and other projects, he essentially bankrolled, as a kid, he bankrolled his trip to Canada so that he could go to a school called Waterloo, which is the best engineering school in Canada. And the way he thinks, the way he just moves directly towards something, the way he uses whatever technology makes sense for him, I think it's giving us a spark, a glimpse into the way people might use computers in the future. I think there's going to be a growing number of people across ages, but that are this archetype of a person that wants to find the new limit of what a human being can do with a computer. What is the extent of what they can learn? What should they spend their time on, or what should they not spend their time on, given the way that the world works now? I thought this was a fascinating conversation. I thought it was very inspiring. And I want to have more of these conversations. I want to talk to people who are really pushing the limits of what it means to be a human in the world today. And so I hope you enjoy this conversation in the way that I did. And thank you for everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. So you grew up in Sri Lanka, right?
No.
What?
I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, you grew up in Saudi Arabia, but you are Sri Lankan.
Yes.
Okay, so where did you grow up in Saudi Arabia?
In Riyadh, which is the capital.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Can we see that? Let's go to this place, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Tim Hortons French Vanilla. Riyadh? Oh. So where is this place? This is where you
right
grew up.
in the center.
This is where you grew up? Wow.
I was born in Canada, but then immediately
You were born in Canada?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
I was born in Scarborough.
You were born in Scarborough?
Toronto.
So you were born in Scarborough.
Yeah.
And so you're Canadian.
Yes.
And then so how old were you when you left?
Like 2 months.
Oh.
My parents hated the cold.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they came here, you were born, and they're like, let's leave.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Yeah.
Really? Okay, so you're born in Scarborough, you're here for 2 months, and then you go to this place.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this place like?
It's very the city center is extremely dense. It feels like most cities. They have a lot of really interesting. Riyadh has some of the most interesting like tall towers. If you look at the Kingdom Tower, and then there's another thing called the Olaya Tower. It's like a ball inside like this giant circle. So these towers are really unusual. Like you've never seen a building that looks like this.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
extremely
That
iconic.
looks
Yeah.
like science fiction.
Yeah, it's so futuristic. It's such an
Holy
incredible
shit.
tower.
So what's this tower?
This is called the Kingdom Tower.
Wow.
So I grew up like pretty close to here, and it's like, I guess the Riyadh's like CN Tower in a lot of ways. And at night it like changes colors and stuff. It's really cool.
So you grow up in this big city. Can we drop like a person down there?
Yeah.
Drop it. I want to see what this is like walking through here. So how old were you when, like, how many years were you here?
I was here from like 0 to 10. Basically.
Oh wow, so a lot.
It's like formative.
So this
life.
like, holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. It feels a lot like Dubai in these areas, but I think if you go like more in the outskirts, like more suburbs, you'll see
Shawarma house?
They have good shawarma.
They do?
Yeah.
That spot?
Yeah. Of course.
Oh, you mean in general?
In general,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
Beautiful
this place looks like so the weather here is like really warm. Does it ever rain?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's just always
like 40.
always hot. Click that shawarma house spot right there. It's on the screen, yeah. What's the reviews? Damn, 38,000 reviews, 4.4.
That's ass.
No, I don't think so, man. I think that's really good.
4.4?
I think 4.4 with 38,000 reviews. That's a lot of reviews.
Oh, damn, look at that. Wow, look at that chili.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about Saudi shawarma is that
Yeah.
they don't have any vegetables in them. They hate
At
putting
all?
vegetables. Yeah.
Well, I mean, shawarma in general is about the meat,
Yeah.
right? But the toppings are acceptable. Like I think
Usually,
with
yeah.
Lebanese shawarma, it's like pickled turnip, cucumber, or I think it's pickles, pickled turnip, garlic sauce, sometimes fries, I guess, and I think that's it.
I guess fries is a vegetable.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, but it's like, so it's no vegetables?
They only have fries and pickles sometimes.
Only have fries and pickles.
And chicken, yeah. Which
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
is normal. But
Yeah.
I'd never seen like lettuce in a shawarma.
No. But that's
That's
like
like
not a, that's, yeah.
That's like fake. That's like,
Yeah.
you're not real.
Yeah.
Imposter.
I think even when, like, I think there's this shawarma spot I go to in Scarborough called Gadir. And like, even there, like when I order, they're like, okay, so like, what do you want in your shawarma? This is the spot.
Yeah.
This is my favorite spot right now.
Nice.
And so it's like when you go to this and it's like, when you walk in, they're like, what do you want on the shawarma? And it's like, they're not even really asking you, like,
Yeah.
what do you want in your shawarma? I feel they're just they're just trying to like find out the kind of person you are.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Trying to bucket you and like.
Yeah. They're like, you want everything? And
It's
I'm
like, it's like the, you want
yeah,
everything.
Exactly. You want everything? And I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, nah, man. Of course I don't want everything. You know what I mean? Who do you think I am? Hey? I want barely anything on my shawarma. You know?
Real ones, yeah.
Wow.
If
Yeah,
you've
this place
had,
is good.
Have you had Broast before?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so this is a very popular
Broast?
thing. There's a restaurant in Saudi Arabia called Al Baik.
Al Bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can search it up,
Yeah.
there's a thing called Broast, and it's a very famous Saudi like cuisine. It's literally chicken and fries, but it's called Broast, and everyone goes really crazy for it there. And it's like one of the most popular items that you can buy at this restaurant. There's huge lines and huge queues for it.
It's called Al
Yeah,
Bike?
it's kind of like the in and out of
Oh, really?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, damn, it literally is.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like
Wow.
no vegetables, not a single vegetable.
On the sandwich.
Yeah, it's like purely
So what
just
is
chicken.
this?
It's
so
just
it's a
like the
sandwich?
franchise. They sell franchise, and yeah, this right
So
here
it's
is like
chicken?
a broast. Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand, like, what is broast?
I have no idea.
Like,
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, there, right there. You had it.
broast. Yeah,
Broasted chicken, often referred to as broast or broasted, a staple fast food in Saudi Arabia characterized by being marinated, sometimes pressure fried, and then finished to a crisp. It is a popular, affordable comfort food for locals and expats, typically served with fries.
yeah.
What is it? Can you find out, like, what does it taste like? Like, is it just
Chicken
is it
and fries.
Yeah, like, is broast just fried chicken, or is it different? You want me to super?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Super for Claude.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah. So what is broast, like the fast food dish that you get in Saudi Arabia, and how is it different than fried chicken? Is it essentially the same thing? Is it like if I was to bite into it, like how much of a difference does it like? How different actually is it? What is broast?
It's extra research mode.
Yeah.
Tough
Had
question.
to. So broast is genuinely distinct from regular fried chicken. It is not just a regional name for the same thing here. Here's the breakdown. What it actually is. Broasted chicken uses a combination of pressure cooking and deep frying. It is cooked in a special pressure fryer, which seals in the moisture while crisping up the exterior. The machine that does this is literally called a broaster.
Wow.
It
I
is
didn't know that.
It is a proprietary piece of equipment. This is where, how is it different from fried chicken when you bite into it? This is where it actually matters. Regular fried chicken can be dry or uneven depending on how it is cooked. You know how sometimes the inside is just fine, but not particularly juicy. With broasted chicken, the pressure cooking seals in moisture, making it more flavorful with every bite. And the result is chicken that's incredibly juicy on the inside while still being crispy on the outside. So the contrast between the crust and the interior is more pronounced. It's also reportedly healthier than regular fried chicken because the pressure frying method uses less oil. Holy shit.
Wow. New fried chicken method, bro.
Is this it? Yeah, play this.
Oh, it's a recipe.
But see, the thing is, look up the broaster
The
because that's the
machine, yeah.
proprietary machine.
Proprietary technology.
Yeah.
You ready?
Genuine broaster chicken.
Welcome back. Through in your first step towards getting broasted.
That sounds fucked.
Getting broasted.
That I've already pre-drained here.
Oh, wow.
About 45 minutes to set up and
Broaster 1800.
We are going to.
It's a long
cook our
time.
Chicken. We're gonna start with our breasts.
It's like a deep fryer.
Yeah, so right now it looks like a deep fryer, so he's putting it in. Okay.
Oh, but it's also like boiling.
Yeah, it looks different for
Yeah.
some reason, right?
It doesn't feel like oil.
Yeah, something's going on here.
Agitate our baskets so we don't have chicken.
Like, I don't know.
No clue.
I'm just looking
Wait,
at
this is
I'm looking
actually
at the
like
bubbling of the
alien
liquid.
technology.
Yeah, it does look different than like a fryer, yeah.
Said we started with our breasts, then we went to our thighs, legs, and wings.
Okay.
Agitate, hand on top,
Oh.
over, elbow, close the valve, and in about 10 and a half minutes, we will have
Oh, it's American
awesome,
thing.
genuine
It's
roasted
American.
chicken.
Maybe, yeah.
Slowly release the pressure.
It's this is actually unbelievable.
Yeah. I didn't know it.
Let's see what it when it comes out. Like, this is unbelievable, man. Look at that.
Wow.
We're going to let that sit, let any excess oil drain off real quick.
Huh.
Oh my God. Damn.
Beautiful, golden brown, crispy fried chicken. All right.
We called it fried chicken, which is interesting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the thing I find super fascinating about this is, like, you look at a machine like this, and it's just crazy that it's essentially like engineering. You know, like you're making this thing, but it's like you're trying to use like this machine to create food in a particular way. I just think that's so fascinating. And then like the idea that you actually can't create that food without this machine.
Right.
But that's interesting because like even shawarma in itself, like it was, like the way that it was created, it was a fundamental like machine innovation, which like I think it was like in Turkey or something. They took the horizontal lamb rotisserie and they flipped it vertically, and then like you know, there's a lot of implications to doing that, but it's like that rotisserie and like or that spit, sorry, and like the way it turns and everything like that, and the way they pack the meat, you have to do it in that way to get that dish. And it's the same thing here. It's like you have to use this machine to get that dish. And it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
the way in which we kind of like create these machines and they fundamentally change the properties of food and stuff like that. It's like crazy.
It's like there's almost like a technological moat now for this thing. It's like you can only get this by investing in like a $50,000 machine or whatever.
Is there any way to get a broasted chicken in Toronto or like any city around here? Broasted chicken in Toronto, yeah. 4C chicken? Let's see this. Oh, broast chicken and waffles? Oh, damn. Mississauga? Wow, open this up. This is unbelievable. Holy shit.
The crazy thing is like you don't see this. It's like seeing French vanilla. It's like broast. What's that? Oh, that shit looks.
Wow.
But I feel like I want to see the machine though. Like I feel like I don't trust them.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see as I made.
Yeah, I would never eat fucking any of these places without validating they had the machine first.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they were creating a place and they called it broast chicken.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be funny is like if this is just a common ass thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do this all the time.
Yeah, this is like the most basic like thing that everyone all knows about. We're just idiots when it comes to food.
It's just the air fryer.
Have you heard of this, Robbie?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So home of chef inspired broast. Anyways, yeah. Wow. Okay. So you grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
So when you're there, you're like, what was your life like?
It was very. I think so. I went to like a fully Arabic school.
Yeah.
So my first language was also Arabic.
Oh.
So I grew up speaking. I had two first languages, which was both Arabic and English.
Oh.
And so I think
But
most.
how could you have two first? Wouldn't one of them be first?
Because one, I spoke like when I started speaking, I went to school and I was speaking Arabic, but then I went home and I was speaking English.
Oh.
So I didn't really know what was my first language.
Oh.
it's
So
kind of
why
like
were you
simultaneous.
speaking English at home?
My parents.
Oh, they didn't speak Arabic?
No, they're Sri Lankan.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
they don't know any Arabic.
So wait, your parents had no connection with Saudi Arabia?
No.
They just randomly moved to Saudi Arabia?
My dad worked at a company called Ericsson, and he got transferred there.
He got transferred there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he paid no taxes at that time. So it was like,
Wow. So your parents don't even speak Arabic. So you're this
Yeah.
interesting.
So I was
Okay.
like telling them directions. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so your friends that were in this school,
Mhm.
they probably were from this area and stuff, right?
Yes, they were like fully Arab. And I think that's a different experience to most immigrants who live there because they mostly go to like the Indian school in
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, the Sri Lankan school in Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia, and they speak English and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like fundamentally different experience because it was like fully like immersed in like their the Arab culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really unique way to grow up.
Yeah. I think, like for example, I grew up, schools are fully segregated there.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, boys and girls are separate.
Oh, yeah.
And so after grade 3, I remember they're like, you have to go to new school now because up to like kindergarten, you have like a mixed school.
Yeah.
So boys and girls are in the same classes and stuff. But then at some point, it's like a full separation event. And they're like, okay, that's it. You have to leave the school now.
Yeah.
And when you're too old, then you have to go to a fully boys school.
Yeah.
And like the attire people wear, like the uniform is like the thobe
Yeah.
with like the full white gown
Yeah.
for guys. And that's like the uniform in school.
Yeah.
The classes they have is completely different. It's like some of the main classes they teach you is like beyond like Arabic. There's like one on like, it's called like, I don't know the English meaning of this.
Yeah.
There's one on like, it's called Sirah, which is like the history of Islam.
Yeah.
It's like the prophetic history.
Yeah.
There's one called like fiqh, which is like the, I don't know the exact meanings for these, so it might be better to search them up.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot
can
of
look it
like,
up, Robbie.
it's like the broader breakdowns of like religion
Yeah.
that they kind of teach you. Like out of your 8 classes you take in school, like half of them are on religion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then
That's
like
crazy.
math. And the math and stuff is super easy. Like they don't really challenge you at all. It's extremely easy, relatively.
So, okay. Focuses on Saudi Arabia school syllabus managed by the Ministry of Education, focus on Islamic studies, Arabic language, science, and math with an increasing emphasis on English, technology, and career-oriented tracks in secondary education.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said the math is easy. So then were you bored?
Yeah, mostly.
And so I guess you told your parents you were bored?
Yeah. So my parents taught me extra like math at home.
Yeah.
So I actually learned most of my math because they would get like secondhand books or like math books from Canada.
Yeah.
And then that's what I would learn using. So I would just like kind of do like problems on the side.
I see.
And so that's how I actually learned most of my math.
And so like, you were interested in math off the, like, as a kid?
Yeah. I was always, I think, interested in like science and math generally.
Right. Why?
It felt like you got like a bit of like a hit of dopamine every time you
Yeah.
saw like some random multiplication thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like you kept wanting to go because like all the problems were just like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then there was like some coloring exercise at the end and you're like, oh, I got to get there. And so it felt like a quest. You just have to like finish everything to get there. Or like there was like a really great sense of accomplishment when you went through every like task almost. It felt like you're like going to the next step and the next step. And it felt very like compounding because compared to anything else, it was like, that there's like a beauty in math where it's like, there's one answer, at least in arithmetic, there's like one correct answer. It's not like English. You don't have to wait for someone to like review you. Mm-hmm. You can kind of check, and there's like almost a sandbox where it's like, it's verifiable. I think that was like really cool because you could like do the thing, you could see you're wrong and you could iterate and figure out what you did wrong or something. So that was like really cool. And I guess it followed me for most of my life. Yeah.
So like you start getting interested in math, and then you're at home. Mm-hmm. You have like your own textbooks where you're doing like extracurricular math. Mm-hmm. And then so was that like your first thing where the first interest you had, where you were like, oh, you know what I mean? This is something that I guess you were thinking like you're good at it or something.
Adjacent. It was actually more computers.
Right.
It was like. I mean, I did enjoy math, but I spent all my time on computers. I was like coding on Notepad. I used to watch like CSS tutorials.
Really?
Yeah. Like way back. And
what was your first what was your computer setup? Like what was your house like?
Yeah, my dad loved buying all the new computers that came out. So we had in his bedroom or my parents' bedroom just a giant dining table like this.
Oh, crazy.
And it was like a Intel like Pentium like an Intel Pentium with like XP running on it.
Yeah.
And I would like code on that or like play video games and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was mostly like I remember like building my own like random HTML websites when I was like 10.
So it was one computer?
Yeah, single computer and no laptop at that time. Or my dad had a laptop as like a work thing.
But you would use this computer.
Yeah, it was like
Do you remember what brand it was?
It was HP.
HP? HP Intel Pentium? And so it would sit on this thing?
Yeah.
And so you'd start making websites. So what were you using to make websites?
Notepad. Like
Notepad.
Raw Notepad.
So how'd you learn HTML?
I searched, I remember I wanted to make, I think it was never like, I think I stumbled across programming. It was more like always like solution oriented.
Like you were like you were trying to make something, how do I make this thing? You would learn what you need to learn to make the thing.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, I need HTML. And then I needed to style it. So it was like CSS. And then I wanted to do like I want to have like a form. So then I was looking at PHP. So I spent a lot of time on PHP. And then JavaScript naturally. And then I set up like these web servers using, if you've heard of XAMPP, XAMPP.
XAMPP.
And then it would work with this database called PHPMyAdmin, like way back. And so I used to really like use PHPMyAdmin on like a local host. So
what kind of like what are some of the early websites you were making? Like what was the purpose?
I remember I made one the first one I made was just like it was like a car repository. A bunch of my like Hot Wheels cars I was collecting.
Oh, damn, that's
And I was
dope.
like, oh, I really want to keep track of these somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
And so I made like a PHPMyAdmin, like SQL database, and then had some server running. And
damn,
yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
Okay, so then, so you're this kid in Saudi Arabia. You're learning Arab at school. That's not. What's the name of the actual language?
Arabic.
Arabic. Sorry, you're learning Arabic. You're learning Arabic at school, and then you're talking English at home, and then you are kind of like, I guess, trying to find your place, right, in this like city. Mm-hmm. Like I'm assuming your upbringing is very different, and your situation is very different than all these other kids.
Somewhat. Who are other kids in this case?
I mean, other kids like your peers, your student peers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I think my other peers, I don't really remember what they were doing. I think I was just like, I was kind of like mostly spending time at home anyways. I was like mostly like on my computer. It was also like, naturally in Saudi Arabia, like the culture of like after school clubs is not a big thing.
Right.
It's just sports.
Yeah.
So everyone just did sports. Everyone did soccer.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
So everyone was just like really into like watching sports or playing sports. There's not really like after school robotics club or something. Like nobody cared.
So you would run home and just like go to your computer, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like
Damn.
start.
That's like
coding.
me.
Yeah, yeah. We're so similar.
Okay, so then you're sitting on, so you're like using the computer, you're like building websites. How does that? So like what else is happening? Like what are the early experiences? Like that's your early experiences with making these, but what are your early experiences with the internet then?
Yeah.
Like are you exploring different sites, different communities, or like?
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of time on YouTube.
Right.
And I had a huge fascination with YouTube.
Yeah.
I watched a ton of like, I remember watching like Mr. Beast when he had like 30,000 subscribers, making those stupid intro videos.
Yeah.
But I spent a ton of time on YouTube, and for a while I wanted to be a YouTuber. Like it was like my dream like job.
Yeah.
So I started making YouTube videos when I was really young.
Like what kind of YouTube videos?
Minecraft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Video
you would be like in a.
Yeah. I would be playing on these like servers.
Yeah.
Who's
Who's a good Minecraft YouTuber?
I used to watch this guy named Sky Does Minecraft. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Sky Does Minecraft?
Yeah. Sky Does Minecraft, Dan TDM, like those are
Okay, yeah.
OG.
So you start watching these channels and then making your own. So for you to make your own Minecraft channel, these guys would have to influence you a lot.
Yeah.
You would have been watching them a lot.
Oh, I was watching them all the time. Like these guys were huge back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm sure they influence a ton of people. Like
it seems
to this
like
day.
it.
Yeah.
Why, like, a Minecraft channel like this, like what's a good video to like capture like what it was like in the past? Go to oldest. Like something that speaks to you, or like something that, you know what I mean, that really captures.
If you watch like just these OG videos here, this is what it felt so like
good to be
authentic.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a video. How many views does this have?
300K, 14 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so this guy he's playing Minecraft. Is there audio?
Yeah. And we are going to do something with them. I don't know what, but we're gonna do something. Now we are going to make a furnace and put this in there. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. There we go. There's my furnace. Why am I saying furnace? What am I, retarded? Okay. And while that's cooking up, let's go get some cobblestone real quick. No, not cobblestone, coal. We need coal.
So I think what's interesting about this.
Oh my god, they're right on this side. Okay.
I think what's interesting about this is that he is essentially thinking through problems, and he is, he's thinking through these problems, and you're watching his thinking process.
Yeah.
And it's like dynamic. It's not. It's like interesting. He's swearing sometimes. You know, he's cracking jokes. And so you're just watching this guy think through building something.
Yeah.
And so you would just watch this, right?
I would watch this, and then at some point it transitioned to me just playing the game.
Yeah.
But then it was also watching people play games that I couldn't play.
Like, what do you mean? Like you didn't have access?
Not have access, or they were expensive to buy, or my computer was just not good enough.
Yeah. Interesting. So it wasn't just this game, then it became other games as well.
Yeah.
Right? Huh.
Like one popular one was like Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
If you've ever played that before. It was one of my favorite games of all time.
Really?
Yeah. And Subnautica.
Yeah. Let's do gameplay for Watch Dogs. I've never played this game.
So interesting. It's like such an incredible game.
It's like GTA, except like what's happening is like there's like you can hack all of the surveillance systems around the city.
Yeah. It's like GTA, but like you're more discreet and you're not trying to shoot everything.
So who made this game again? Naughty Dog or something?
Yeah, that sounds something like that.
I don't know. Watch Dogs 1 and 24, all the same game. So what is it about this game that's interesting? You would watch YouTubers play this game.
Yeah, before I had a good computer. And then I got a gaming laptop, and then I started like being able to play this. I think what was so interesting about this game is just like how, like, it felt like the intersection of video games and like this like technological, like it was just like all the puzzles and like it felt like, you know, it felt like what coding is like or something in some extent. It was like the closest thing, and it was like really magical.
Damn. Okay, so this starts with Minecraft, and then you start watching. So would you watch videos of this game too?
Subnautica, yeah.
Wow.
This is one of my favorite games. It's so beautiful. It's like also very technologically interesting. Has a lot of like aspects of horror, but also like super exploratory. But also like has a ton of like world building around it. You build your own like structures, submarines, explore all types of like different elements, and it just has an incredible story behind it.
This game looks amazing.
It's so much fun.
I think what is interesting about this game is just the POV, right? It's this, and it is kind of a little scary because like you're in this dark world. Like I feel like a sense of relief when he went back into that ship.
Yeah.
Like, which I think is probably what they intended you to feel. You feel almost like compromised when you step out of this ship, but then you have this like light, and it's just like illuminating just a few feet in front of you, and it's like you're deep in the ocean, and everything is so dark, and you don't know what's going to come out of this like darkness.
Yeah.
So that horror element is like that's intentional, right?
Yeah. The whole plot of the video game is kind of around these giant creatures in the middle of, in like the deepest, darkest oceans.
So at any moment something crazy can happen.
Yeah. There, if you search up the creature called a Leviathan, it's like this very famous clips of like YouTubers getting jump scared by them. And these are like humongous. They're like terrifying because they come out of nowhere.
You have audio? Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's up here. Wow. Is that it?
Yeah.
Wait, let's see
It's
where it
humongous.
appeared. Go back. Let's see where it like first appeared. So you don't see him yet. Oh,
You like hear the sounds.
that's the sound of it, right? So often you hear the sounds first like that, like in the distance.
And the thing
Oh
is,
my
when you see
God.
this creature, you've never seen it before. This is your first time encountering.
Like, what do you mean?
Because this particular Leviathan and this area, it's your first interaction with a creature like this. So you don't even know in this game a creature like this exists.
Oh my God, what the fuck? And so I guess that's like a big part of the game too, is you're seeing a lot of these creatures for the first time.
And it just
What
like,
the? Did it just grab you?
Yeah, it'll like kill you immediately.
Really?
Yeah, and it like took his suit in this case.
So is it guaranteed death?
Yeah, if you
If
don't
you-
have the suit, yeah. Well, like it'll try and kill you.
Oh, so you got to get back in your thing.
Yeah. Or you also have like other types of submarines you can use that are much stronger. But the thing is, the Leviathans get bigger. This is the smallest one. So in the game, like the whole story revolves around this giant, like Leviathan, and they're like absolutely insane.
Wait, this guy's like on land now?
Yeah, this is the next, like the sequel to the game.
This is an amazing game.
Yeah,
This
and
is like
the
a
story is really
Whoa.
good. Playing this in VR is terrifying.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Why would he jump down like that? Like, what's that colossal void Leviathan? Yeah. Go to that one, yeah. In the safe shallows. What the fuck? This game's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
The odds of surviving an encounter with an Apex class Leviathan are 3,720 to 1.
I think this feels like a bug. I think this is not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be that
I'm
big.
not sure what's going on here, actually. This might be like a mod or something, or like somebody brought it because it's not supposed to be here, I think. But yeah, it's humongous. Like imagine seeing that. Like the map is also humongous. It's like a really big map, and there's so much to explore. It's like one of the most beautiful games. Like if you search up like all the different this thing, it's so beautiful. And you imagine playing this on like full like ray tracing. It's so awesome.
So this is another game that you were watching.
I played this also.
You played, but I mean, at first, your first interaction with this game was like watching it on YouTube, essentially.
Yeah.
Pull up Claude for a sec. Let me just ask something here. What is the history of the game Subnautica? Who created it? What's the backstory around how it was created? Tell me some interesting things about its map, its gameplay mechanics. What kind of games is it inspired by, and what does it reference? And just how is it interesting from a game design perspective? Let's just see here. I think I'm definitely going to play this game.
Yeah, it's really good. And you can also build like full like bases and giant submarines.
You can build bases?
Yeah, and you can like start harnessing power.
Really?
Yeah, it's
harnessing power,
like solar, geothermal. Yeah, it's a really like deep game.
It's from a Half-Life mod.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Man, Half-Life is
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Did you know that Counter-Strike was a Half-Life mod?
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. Counter-Strike was a Half-Life mod.
Huh.
There's a lot of games. Half-Life is like, holy, how much impact has there been because of this game? Wow. Okay. Origins, from a Half-Life mod to the deep ocean. The studio behind Subnautica, Unknown Worlds Entertainment, has a surprisingly scrappy origin story. It was formed in May 2001 by Charlie Cleveland and began life as the group of developers. Natural Selection. Holy
That's
shit.
crazy. Wow.
Holy shit. That Natural Selection was an amazing mod that I also played.
Oh, wow.
I could see how it's inspired by that. Okay, so anyway, high profile free mod for Half-Life. The mod was essentially a genius genre mash, a hybrid of Counter-Strike and StarCraft, which gave them enough credibility to spin up a proper studio and make a commercial sequel. The pivot to Subnautica came from exhaustion and circumstance. The release of Minecraft overlapped with Unknown Worlds releasing Natural Selection 2, and feeling exhausted, the team wanted something new. Other influences included scuba diving, the filmography of James Cameron, and just the feeling of exploring deep, dark, alternatively beautiful, and terrible ocean depths. Cleveland framed it initially not as a survival game, but as an exploration game, and there was an unusually direct ethical motivation behind the design. The team was motivated by the Sandy Hook school shooting to make a non-violent game without guns, which is genuinely unusual starting condition for a survival game, no combat as a core loop. Keep going down. The game was also a very small production. A Kotaku headline from the time literally read, "A team of 7 is making a game that shouldn't be possible." You play Riley Robinson, the lone survivor of a crashed spacecraft called the Aurora, stranded on the remote ocean planet known as 4546b. The main objective is to explore the ocean and survive its dangers while finding a way to escape. Players can collect resources and blueprints, construct tools, build bases and submersibles, and interact with the planet's wildlife. The deliberate lack of quest structure was a philosophical design choice. Cleveland stated that with the intrinsic rewards, people are encouraged to do activities for their own merit rather than for external incentives. And if they get over the learning curve, they internalize those activities as pleasurable on their own. He arrived at this after reading an essay by Jamie Chang, who implemented similar philosophies in Don't Starve. Damn.
Wow. That's really cool lore. I didn't know that.
Have you seen Natural Selection?
I have not. I think it's before my time.
Up.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So you can play, in this game, you can play as like a human.
Yeah.
I believe a human. Oh, okay. This game it's hard to even explain, but this game is so good, man.
So this is just this is a mod of Half-Life, right?
This is a mod of Half-Life. Okay. So like you're so like in Counter-Strike, you're playing against like a different team and you have like an objective, right? In like a confined game kind of loop. So here, if you notice, like see this that's like that's almost like an iconic Counter-Strike type screen. So you have this is like a first person view of like this human that you are, but you can also be the aliens. Like that's another player.
Yeah. Wow.
And they can like hide up in like a vent or something, and they can jump down on you and shit like that. Right there. Yeah. See, this is like, he's picking his thing. So he's like, he's like in an egg right now, right? Boom. Now he spawned. And so you actually be the aliens too. But the other thing that's happening at the same time as this is like you have this first person shooter, but then there's another person that's like a commander at the top level, and he has like an overhead view of like the entire map. And so you're playing like this top down thing at the same time.
And the commander's on whose team?
I think each person has one.
I see.
Something like this. See, like this person's building this thing, like these things that spawn specific things, right?
Yeah. And
so that affects what the stuff your team has access to. Maybe like here, maybe you can also get like weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the actual units are like individuals.
Right.
So imagine you're playing StarCraft and you're overhead and you're building stuff like, I'm building this factory, and this factory allows me to make tanks. And so then you start making tanks, but then like the Marines on the bottom are like real players.
Wow. Huh.
Right. So you can just like
Such
get
an
in the
interesting
tank.
dynamic.
Yeah. Really cool. Really cool.
And the commander can just kind of see everything. It's like bird's eye. Sees both teams. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if he can see both teams, but he can definitely see his.
Gotcha. And
I don't know.
People when you played this, did you play this on like Skype or like was this before Skype?
Yeah. So we played this on, if you look up
Teams or
if you look up like natural selection server or something, I don't know.
They have like a voice chat.
Yeah. So like there would be some core functionality. I don't know. Like if you go to Counter-Strike UI, like Counter-Strike, look up like Counter-Strike 1.6 menu. Like you'd have to go to a video. Oh, like here, like go to this. Right there.
Interesting.
So what happens here is that some of the stuff, like it's blurry, but like some of the, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. That's settings. Just go to a YouTube video or whatever, but I'll try to explain it. Like I guess Half-Life enabled mods, and then there was some core functionality that Half-Life would like build on. So I think like they enabled like voice chat within Half-Life, I think, or made it accessible to modders or something. So you could then bring that into like the mods that you were playing. With Counter-Strike specifically, this game is crazy. This game is crazy because this is a phenomenon game, right? Like this is exactly. So this was like a UI that was built in. You would select between your servers. You could filter things out. It's like not in English, but that Cambria Filtros, that was like your filtering thing. So you could filter like the map you wanted to play and stuff like that. And then you would look at a server and you would join. And so with Counter-Strike, it started as a mod, and there was a lot of mods being created at this time. Like Natural Selection is another one of them, and then Counter-Strike is one of them. Counter-Strike was made by two guys.
Wow.
I think it was like, I might get the names wrong, but it was Cliff was his like game name, and Gooseman was the second name. And Gooseman is basically this Vietnamese Canadian guy named Minh Le.
Oh no way.
Yeah, and Minh Le, I think. So like Counter-Strike was originally created by Gooseman Le and Jesse Cliff in 1999 as a free Half-Life mod.
It feels like a very like Half-Life Mafia. It's like a lot of these like children, descendants from
Half-Life was super influential. And then so they make this game, and then what happens is they make this game, and then they start iterating on it and like shipping different versions. But then what happens is like a community starts to like form around this game. Yeah. Right. And they start adding they start organizing themselves in different ways with like scaffolding. So in terms of the chat, like there was no voice in the game because Half-Life was never created for a purpose of like Counter-Strike where you're like collaborating with other people and stuff. So what people start to do is they start to self-organize with adjacent scaffolding and tools around this game. So one of the things was called TeamSpeak or Ventrilo. You can look it up. And so this was like you would get like a Ventrilo server or a TeamSpeak server, and you would have teams that was sponsored by like TeamSpeak or Ventrilo servers, and they'd basically be like, you put our name in your fucking this is Ventrilo.
Oh yeah. I used TeamSpeak towards like the end of its like time.
Yeah. So here, so you would go in here, and then you would have this outside software that you're kind of like exactly you're in this. This is how you would chat. And so over there, see where it says AFK, general chat 2. So what you would do is you would get into this Ventrilo server and you would create these different channels. So let's say I would have a channel that's like, maybe specific to like a match that we're going to play. And then like 5 people would join in there, and then we would all just be talking. You don't need to like, it could be even private. So you don't have to worry about someone else joining while you're playing. And so that was like this additional software that was used, and then you boot up the game.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. And I guess this is how like this whole like that era like spawned, where like Discord, I guess, also came out of.
Yeah. Discord, all that. This is like the birth, this technology and these adjacent tools and Half-Life mods.
Yeah.
That is the birth of esports.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. This is the birth of esports in the modern day that we know them.
I was going to ask you about CSGO and I guess Counter-Strike specifically. But what made Counter-Strike's community, or what community features do they have that made it so? Because it feels very different compared to other games where there's a much strong community. I imagine it was actually like the marketplace features, but I don't know if that was
there was no marketplace.
Okay, it was just like
it was crazy because when I was growing up, there would be like these forums, and people would be like, there's going to be this thing called esports. And people are like, no, man. No one's going to play fucking video games competitively.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Wow.
And like it was like this emerging scene that was being built in real time. And it was just a love for the game. And I think it was a lot of the early people that there was something called the CPL. You can look it up.
What does it stand for?
Cyber Athlete Professional League. It was the first kind of like major league, and it was created by this guy named like Torbil, I believe. And CPL. So if you look up on YouTube, like we've talked about this a bunch, but like if you this shit. Like,
that's
so
crazy.
this was like the original. These guys were defining a lot of things. So Gottfried was an original blog, and like these guys were from Sweden, and they're just coming into this place in Dallas, and like a lot of this shit was like happening for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. Like you were watching the emergence of esports in real time. So I would be on like forums and stuff, and then people would be like, hey man, this esports thing is gonna be a thing, and like Sweden has good players and stuff. And then there was nobody playing. There was nobody like playing there was no such thing as a pro player.
Right.
And so I'm like,
It's a bunch of dudes.
yeah. And so at the same time, I'm talking to like, people like my friends and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, man, I want to play like Counter-Strike Pro, man. And like, I'm gonna play. And they're like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about? It's just this random game that we play. I'm like, no. There's like there's an emerging thing. I think this is gonna be huge. I think like stadiums are gonna be packed with like people, and they're like, no, man, no.
Did you have like full certainty that this was going to be a thing?
Yeah, because I was so embedded in the community, I could just tell the love of it was like so strong.
And the community was on like forums, like
it was all on like forums, and then it was all built around this like chat application called MIRC.
MIRC.
Yeah, you can look. So these guys are just like playing here, and this is like iconic, probably the first ever major Counter-Strike tournament.
Wow.
This is an iconic one.
What's interesting about this is like it feels like they still have like a lot of big sponsors on this. Like if you look in their back, it's like Intel is sponsoring.
Yeah, but that was very uncommon, and I think the Swedish SK team, they were like much more innovative. So if you look at the other teams, the Americans, they're just wearing like regular clothes and shit. Like look at this guy, right? He looks like he looks like these guys look like regular dudes.
Yeah.
Right? But then like go over to the SK team.
That's been like intimidating as hell.
Look at them. They got fucking like super nice hair,
branded.
and then you know what I mean? And they're all branded and shit. And so when I saw SK, and I think when a lot of people saw SK, it was like what was interesting about them is they like leaned into it. They were like you're in
team
this
sport,
you're in this middle ground, right? And you're like, not a lot of people believe in the C-sport thing, and then you have them. They're coming with their branded hoodies, fucking says Intel and shit on the hoodie. $18,000 SK Gaming from Intel, first place.
That's crazy,
right? And so it emerged out of this kind of scene. And I just saw the rate at which it was developing and stuff like that, the database for player profiles and everything. It was just obvious to me that this was like going to become like a huge thing.
Yeah. I guess all the voice chat applications on the side too, like that was like.
There was a lot of stuff, and then what happened is like there was no way to watch the games live.
Right. It's interesting.
Because Half-Life did not have that.
Right.
They never built that in. So what would happen is people would record. There's a feature where it was called a demo where you could record yourself playing. And so what would happen is you would find out about these big matches, and then people would record a demo and then upload it, and you download the demo. It would be a video. And so the way, and it wasn't even a video, I don't think. It was like a file that could only be played back in fucking Half-Life.
Oh, interesting.
Or in Counter-Strike. So you'd have to like boot up the game and then like run the demo. Right? And then it would like, you would somehow watch it. It was something like that. And then, so that's how you'd watch. It's not very accessible. And it's also like you're watching the entire match from one person's point of view. There's no switching around and shit like that.
I see.
And then Half-Life created Half-Life TV, HLTV.
Was that like a Twitch equivalent?
No,
like
it wasn't. It wasn't a Twitch equivalent. It allowed this HLTV. I don't know if this was created from Valve or like what, but like go to the Wikipedia page. This changed a lot of shit. Yeah. HLTV, formerly an initialism of Half-Life Television, is a news website. No.
Did they like rebrand it maybe?
That's not it.
I'm thinking. Hold on. There was something like, if you go to Claude, there was something else like. Okay, here, let me go. Yeah. Okay. So when I was growing up, I would have to, like, if I wanted to watch a Counter-Strike match, I had to figure out how to download something called a demo. I don't even think it was a video. I think it was something that I would like run in like the console or something. And then I remember that there was a turning point. There was a turning point where there was something like HLTV. Maybe that wasn't what the functionality was called, but there was some turning point where Half-Life or Valve enabled spectators to join a game. You would join an IP address to watch a game as a spectator. What was that? Like what was all that? And I feel like when that happened, that was a key piece of technology that ended up shifting. Like that had a lot of downstream effects, because then you could have commentators and they could switch between different points of view and stuff like that. You could see how many spectators there were and things like that. So what was going on?
Oh, I think
No.
my bad.
Fuck. Shit. Okay, I'll try it again. All right. So what? This is gonna be way shorter this time. Okay. So what did Half-Life change that allowed viewers to spectate games? Like, what was that underlying technology, and how was it different than like how it worked previously, where you had to like download and run demos or something? Like, what was all that? And this is specifically in relation to Counter-Strike and the development of its esports scene. Hopefully this works. Okay.
What did the evolution of? It feels like a lot of countries have, or like there are sports that kind of overfit to a country in a lot of ways. Was esports ever dominated by a single country for a while? Like, did it ever have eras? Because it seems like Sweden was like quite good
I think
at it.
in the beginning, like the Europeans were on like a fundamentally different level, I feel.
Well, why do you think so?
I think maybe like on a cultural perspective, they took it more seriously. We've investigated this before, and I think like just they just adopted it more seriously, and so I think their development programs were better. Before HLTV, watching competitive games meant dealing with demo files, recordings baked into the game engine that you download after a match was over. The core problems were they were asynchronous, no live watching. They were tied to a specific game version. A demo recorded on one patch often broke on another. They took up server bandwidth and player slots if someone was spectating in game, and your viewing angle was often locked to whoever recorded the demo. You couldn't freely move a camera around. It was essentially a playback file, not a broadcast. And so that's how, like giving you perspective, like that's how this like scaffolding starts to emerge, right? And the way you can see that there's like an interest around that is like, that's not a user-friendly way of consuming like a fucking match, right? But then you have like oh shit, he uploaded his demo file.
Oh,
You know what I
right.
mean? And
Yeah, yeah.
it's such
People
a shitty
flocking.
format,
Yeah,
and like people are already like, oh fuck, damn, you can actually watch the guy play.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And this is the best Counter-Strike player in the world.
Right.
And this game had spread through schools and like in like different cultures and different people meeting up. So everyone's like playing it. Guys are playing it. Girls are playing it. And then you're getting pretty good, and like you hear from your friend like, yo, he's really good. And then all of a sudden you say to someone like, remember, there's no esports yet.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you say to someone, yo, you know that game we play Counter-Strike? Yeah. Yo, there's motherfuckers in Sweden that are playing this game, and they're training competitively for this game. I'm like, nah, man. It's just
That's
a
so
game,
funny.
man. It's just a game.
Wow.
It's just a game. No. They're playing competitive. Like they have coaches. And it's like, no, bro, that's, you know what I mean? There's no such thing. You know what I mean? It's just a game. We're just playing video games, right? And then it's like, no, not only are they playing competitive.
Yeah.
This guy's the best player in the world. He left school, man.
Wow.
He left school. You know how we're all in school? This guy's not even in school. He just spends all day playing this game. No way, man. How the fuck is that possible? And then you're like, yo, here's this super fucked up demo playback file.
Wow. It's like drop you a zip.
That I think I figured out how to run. And we can watch this motherfucker play. He doesn't even speak English, bro.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you just watch this shitty ass file, and then you just see somebody that's like on a fundamentally different skill. So anyways, Half-Life TV was introduced with Counter-Strike 1.3 and was architecturally something new. The core of the HLTV broadcasting system is the HLTV proxy, a console application that works much like a dedicated server. To broadcast a game, the HLTV proxy connects to the game server just like a normal player. Spectators then connect to the HLTV proxy, and the game data stream is relayed through it to all connected spectator clients. The last part is the key insight. The proxy is a middleman. It sits between the real game server and the audience. Anyways, the really clever engineering was in how they handled scale. The HLTV proxy connects to the game server as a normal client, but can hold up to 255 spectator clients. That was another.
Lot.
It's a lot, but then you have to look at the scale of esports now,
Right.
man. And so they created a server architecture.
Oh, wait. So 255 people simultaneously across the entire.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. That makes more. That's fucked. That's not a lot.
You see what I'm saying?
So when
And
you
then-
tried join, it was like a queue. You just like
Yeah, you
full
just have a
and
queue.
like, oh wow.
And so now
Wow.
and then let's see, hold on, actually, let me see. 250, maybe I'm wrong about that. 255
Yeah, was it like
spectator clients for larger audiences. The system forms a chain of tree of proxies.
Interesting.
A master proxy connects directly to the game server. Relay proxy connects to the master, so that you can support more than that. So the spectators connect to the relay proxies, distributing bandwidth across different networks. So for a major tournament, you'd have hundreds of proxy servers chained together globally, each serving a local audience. Several hundreds of HLTV proxies supported the 2004 CPL finals match, which is what we watched,
Wow.
I think, right?
And you distribute all the demo files on the forums, and people kind of flock to them. and get them.
Pre-HLTV.
Did people ever like pay for them?
Maybe, yeah.
Demo files?
Maybe, I think so. Yeah. And then so what's interesting about this is that so you have to think about, like, let's see who created that technology.
Like the proxying, or
Yeah, can you find out if that was made by Valve?
Which one?
This HLTV thing, was this all created by Valve? Was all of this created by Valve? Was this something that their development team created? And so what's interesting about this, the proxy system was built by Valve as part of the global source engine, yes, but Counter-Strike itself, whatever. The Counter-Strike is not created by Valve. We know that. But so what's interesting about this is you have to understand there is no general consensus at the time that esports is going to be a thing. You see these, like Half-Life makes this game. It's like a narrative game. It's an amazing game, but they don't make it with the intention of like birthing esports. Like that's not their intention, right?
would you attribute Half-Life to the birth of esports?
A big time, yeah.
Okay.
Like I think it's a key, 100%. Because I think that like it's modding culture and the customization culture.
What made it so moddable?
I don't know. You can look that up.
Yeah, because
But-
that feels like something that should have existed in a bunch of other games.
I have this thing where it's like every time that there's like a significant shift in the way that the world works, what accelerate and where there's a lot of unknowns and you don't know what's going to happen next, and everyone has to iterate and like kind of invent things. I think what happens at those times is technologies or, I guess technologies that are very customizable end up kind of rising to the forefront. The reason for that is because nobody knows, like nobody knows what the world's gonna look like with these new technologies, right? And so you can't be like so prescriptive in the way you're creating something, right? Because it's like we have all of these new technologies available, and people want to try things, people want to do things. You're seeing that right now with tools like Obsidian and stuff like this, right? Where it's like it's like if you have like with you know, the way people use computers is fundamentally changing. So if you have like a very prescriptive vision on how someone uses a computer, and you're using a design where it's like this is how it's not going to work, because people will like, they want to mod things, they want to like. And it's the same thing here. I think what's happening is you have the internet bandwidth is getting faster, right? And so people, a lot of these games they were like the first time where you could be in these like immersive shared worlds with other people. And when in Half-Life, Valve, they're part of this shift. They're not the creators of it. They're not. It's not like they can predict it and see where they're going. In the same way, like right now, you look at OpenAI or Anthropic or any of these companies, they have foresight. They have the ability to make probabilistic bets on where things are going, but they don't know where it's going. They don't know how this leads up to this, or this. That's not possible. We're part of a shift. And so with Half-Life, they're like working on this thing, and so they see these like communities building up. These people creating these games. Wow, these games are really good. Holy fuck. Natural Selection. It's a really good game. Not only is it a good game, it's an unveiling novel game design mechanics. How many people made this game? Holy shit. And they're processing that in real time.
You can see that clearly, like Counter-Strike coming as a result of it. Subnautica being inspired in some ways.
Totally. I mean, it's the same guys. Right? And so I think like, and so when they're making that HLTV stuff and they're creating this like proxy network thing, that's like somebody in their company is getting paid to do that. That's like a team that's been created, and that delegation is happening to that team in a world where they don't even know what this esports thing is. So it's just fascinating. They're like, wait, so people are downloading these demos. How big is this community? Okay, well, what if we, I don't know, maybe like what if like people could watch all around the world these matches? And they're just, you know what I mean? They're just thinking,
like a guy.
It's just like imagining maybe this is a thing, maybe it's not a thing. And then they make this HLTV thing, and it fucking obviously changes everything, right? And then you have amateur commentators.
And all of this was like designed by Valve. Like in the case of Half-Life was by Valve.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I feel like, have you ever looked at the Valve like employee handbook?
No, let's see.
Oh, it's so awesome. But it feels like how a lot of the culture of how Valve, I think, albeit today, is probably less like favorable from what people see. But Valve's OG employee handbook taught a lot, and like to these principles of like how employees like behaved and contributed to the company.
Interesting.
It's really
a fearless adventure in knowing what to do when no one's there telling you what to do.
So it's exactly what you're talking about. It's like this whole culture around the company.
Dedicated to the family of all Valve employees. Thank you for helping us make such an incredible place. This is amazing. This is amazing. Settling in your first month, what to work on.
It's really good.
Why do I need to pick my own projects? But how do I decide which things to work on? This is amazing.
It's literally what you're describing. And I think a lot of it ties down to principles like this that they've, thought about for a long time.
Let's read this epilogue. What is Valve not good at? Page 51.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, there's only 37 pages. Is this not the whole book?
This should be the whole thing.
The design of the company has... What is Valve not good at? The design of the company has some downsides. We usually think they're worth the cost, but it's worth noting that there are a number of things we wish we were better at, helping new people find their way. We wrote this book to help, but as we said above, a book can only go so far. Oh, it's not good at helping people find their way. It's not good at mentoring people. Not just helping new people figure things out, but proactively helping people to grow in areas where they need help is something we're organizationally not good at. Peer reviews help, but they can only go so far. Disseminating information internally. Finding and hiring people in completely new disciplines. making predictions longer than a few months out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
We miss out on hiring talented people who prefer to work within a more traditional structure. Again, this comes with the territory, isn't something we should change, but it's worth recognizing as self-imposed limitation. It's a great company.
Yeah. I wonder what the sentiment of it is today. I have no idea.
Valve?
Yeah.
Amazing. They're like a bootstrapped, dope ass company. They're working on like Steam Frame, Steam Deck.
Generally, a lot of it feels like a lot of the game, or like Blizzard and stuff, they kind of go down the path of like everyone suddenly like unanimously hates them.
Really?
Yeah, like people don't like working at, or they have like brutal hours, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I see.
You know, they don't, the payout, also games are really weird. If you've looked at the history of Supercell, for example.
Supercell?
Yeah, like the company that made like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, also very interesting history. But, you know, the issue with games is you can't test the waters compared to like products where it's like much more iterative. You kind of just drop a game and hopefully it works. And otherwise you're kind of cooked in a lot of ways. So there's like a different, like it feels like there's a very different like like thought process behind creating games where it's kind of like, it's less like listening to your users, listening to what people want and making just something really delightful, or like something really interesting.
Yeah.
And people hopefully adopting it or going big.
Yeah.
I see this like if you've looked at Stardew Valley and ConcernedApe.
Yeah.
That's also a great story. One-man show, one of the most popular games on Steam.
Yeah.
And I spent like thousands of hours on that game.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Can we see, what's the story of Stardew Valley?
It's made by a guy named ConcernedApe. It's
ConcernedApe. Oh, yeah.
You've seen on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a one-man show.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
That's unbelievable, especially given the time.
And before AI. He made all the music. He made everything. 10 out of 10.
Imagine making this game by yourself.
Yeah. Just a guy, bro. Just a guy. I feel this with Notch too from Minecraft. Like there's very much a similar.
That's unbelievable.
It's like a pure pursuit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And so you're watching like Subnautica, you're watching Minecraft, you're watching Watch Dogs, you're watching all these games, then you get a gaming computer. And now let's say you're like 10 years old and now you leave. You leave Saudi Arabia, obviously. Where do you go?
Sri Lanka.
Damn, dude.
I spent 7 years there.
What a fucking weird way to grow up.
Yeah. It's kind of strange.
Okay, so then you go to Sri Lanka. So where do you live in Sri Lanka?
A city called Colombo, which is the capital. I think the interesting thing about going to Sri Lanka is like you're kind of like
it's
going.
just this island? Like zoom out for a sec. Keep going. Wow.
Very small.
It's just this island?
Yeah.
Below India?
It's called the teardrop of India.
What a weird way to grow up. Okay, yeah. So you go to it's kind of weird, no?
I guess so.
Okay, so then you go to Colombo.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're here and you're 10.
Sri Lanka is very different because
man.
Well, it's a third world country. Like it's like, you know, in Saudi Arabia, like everything's awesome. It's like tall skyscrapers, like, you know, it's really great. Like very high like quality of life is very high.
Yeah.
And then you go here and like everything's chaotic, everything's different. You know, I pick up 2 new languages.
So now you've spoken Arabic, English,
and then Sinhala and Tamil.
So
Sinhala? Yeah, that's the Sri Lanka's national language.
And so how well could you speak Sinhala?
Not good anymore, but better when I was there, when I was living there.
But you had to pick it up while you were there?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because kids are going to look at you and they're going to be like, what are you? Right? They would have to.
Right,
kind of.
yeah.
Because you're like in school, are they speaking Sinhala or English?
They're speaking English.
Okay. Cool.
But you like generally like around the country, like you kind of have to speak it.
Okay.
Even
cool.
though it's like a national language, English, but it's not really.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're growing up here now.
Sri Lanka also has a really interesting skyscraper. It has the tallest tower in South Asia. It's called the Lotus Tower. It's shaped like a lotus.
That?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it has it's like 350 meters tall. It's kind of like a CN Tower, honestly. But it's like more Asian. It's pretty funny. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, so you're here.
Yeah.
So now what's going on? So now from you lived here from 10 to 17.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so high school, basically like all the way to high school here and like graduating. I was also homeschooled for a period, for a large chunk of it.
Really?
Yeah. I left school and then was homeschooled.
So who taught you stuff?
Oh, just myself.
What?
Like it was homeschooled, but it was more like self-taught. I had a bunch of tutors I used to go to. I had a very influential chemistry and computer science teacher.
Really?
Who I learned everything from, or like they were very.
Like, what did they teach you?
They taught me to like show my work, or like when I was working on random apps on like the corner, they would like make me like demo it in front of people, and that was like really important.
Why?
Because then I got people to try my stuff and what I made. And I actually was like, people were like, I actually built up a lot of confidence because a lot of the time I was like making all these things, but it was fully secretive. It was just like, oh yeah, this is my thing. I like it. It's cool. But I didn't think people cared.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh wow, people actually care. And so that's when I started going into app development and like started making, like during COVID, I started making money from software for the first time. And that was like really insane because it was like an unlock.
So when you demoed, like when you're working on something and then you demoed it,
Yeah.
what was that? Like, what was the process of being like, oh, like you mentioned, like people cared, like what happened?
Yeah. So I was working on this app called SnapAPaper in Sri Lanka.
SnapAPaper.
Yeah, you can search it up. There's a website. But it was basically a tool for, when you're in South Asia, they have these exams called the A levels, which is like a standardized exam.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do is when I was doing these physical papers, I wanted to quickly be able to like, yeah, that's the website. I wanted to quickly be able to take the ID of the paper and then find the particular marking scheme. So I could quickly like pull it up, like take a photo, and then pull up the PDF with the answers. And so I could quickly mark it for myself. And it's a hassle to like find this like marking scheme, whatever. This website would like it scraped all the marking schemes on the internet. And so you didn't have to go to like these random like ad-filled websites, whatever. And it was like really easy. It was just like take a photo.
Yeah.
It was my first like time like training some model. It was like a CNN at that time. It's like way back.
Oh, you trained a model for this?
It was a really tiny, just like text recognition model.
Oh, shit.
But it was really interesting. And so this is my like first software that released, and like many tens of thousands of people were using it in the country.
So what was it in Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
And so what was the process of releasing this and stuff?
I put it on Google Play, and I remember spending all my money on so it was like 5,000 rupees at that time, $25 US dollars, spending all the money to get my Google Play account. I remember my bank calling me. I was like, oh, all your money just disappeared to Google. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's like, I'm trying to publish an app. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is obviously the right idea. And so I was like, okay, let me publish this. And I started making a ton of apps. I made like 20, 30 apps.
After this?
Yeah.
Because you had this Google Play account now too.
Yes. I made one called Wear a Mask, which was like a mask reminder app. So when I left home, it would like remind me if I didn't take one.
Yeah.
So it was also like really popular. I got a lot of hate for it, but it was like probably like 50,000 people using it. It was like
this SnapAPaper thing. This was the first one, the first big one.
This is the first app I made that people.
So this kind of changed your life in a way, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of ways. It was the first one I published because I made so many things on my own. But this.
So
was
what was like what was your parents' reaction or like your friends to this app? Or like, was this something that you were just processing kind of alone?
Yeah.
Right.
My parents were just like, oh, whatever. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But I think I saw it when I started giving it to people, and they were like, oh, this is really interesting, and they were using it, and like I could see like the Firebase database, like every day I would see like people populating with like past papers doing. I was like, oh wow, this is like a very interesting feeling where someone's using the thing you make.
Yeah.
And I think that like kind of changed brain chemistry in some way.
For sure. 100%.
It was really, really cool.
Wow.
And then so I started making so many apps. I made these soundboards.
Yeah. Soundboards?
Yeah. It was like called there were these apps where like I would take a show like The Office, get my cousin to watch, and I made this a full operation. But initially I would watch it, and then I would like take popular clips from it, and then put it into like a soundboard app where you can click it and like say it was a ringtone or something.
Yeah.
And they got hundreds of thousands of like downloads, and I made like so much money off of them.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
how would it make money?
I would put ads everywhere, and I would have like to pay to remove the ads.
Oh yeah.
But it funded everything for me. Like
what do you mean?
well, I moved to Canada because of it.
What?
Yeah, like that's how I paid for my flight here, or like to when I moved here. It was like these apps would rank consistently top. Like back in the day on Google Play, you search like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, my app was the first one, or like Stranger Things, my app was the first one. So I would time. So eventually, it turned into an operation where I hired my cousin, and I would pay him to watch shows, and he would just watch the shows, find the best like clips, clip them for me, and I would just churn out like this template of soundboards. and made dozens of them. I made a PewDiePie one. I made like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine one, Office, Stranger Things. And it was just like for all these popular shows. And they were making a few $1,000s each. And it was really great.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, this is like unbelievable. This is like literally magic. It was really, really cool.
Okay, so you go through this process of you create this app, SnapAPaper, you put it online, and that creates a relationship between what you're doing on your computer and this kind of like nebulous outside world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like this impact-based relationship. Like, holy shit, you look at the database entries and say, like, oh, there's a lot of people using this thing.
Yeah.
And then you start extrapolating based on that. You're like, okay, so what else can I do that is going to like shake up this kind of internet world, right? And then you make this thing, and now this kind of soundboard thing, and now you hook up like payment mechanics to it, and now you have like money coming in. It's not like just database stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was really cool.
So you're this kid in Sri Lanka, and the money's coming in.
The money's in US dollars too.
And your parents, now your parents are thinking what's going on for sure.
Like sort of. Like I was also at this point I was like fully homeschooled, so I had so much time on my hands. Yeah. So I was like studying on one side, but I was also making all these things because I had so much time. Yeah. Because I was not in school. Yeah. And I just kept
friends and stuff like that.
I was always on my computer. Like that's all I liked doing. Like I loved coding. Yeah. So this was also the point when I left school.
Did you ever hang out with friends or anything like that?
I only played like sports sometimes, but I just loved being with my computer. I just loved like coding. It was like nothing more thrilling than just coding all the time. Wow. So I was like I was pretty bad socially growing up.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Like why do you say that?
Well, I wasn't like very like public. I was in like, I don't think I was quite shy. I think I still am somewhat shy, but I think I'm not very extroverted. Yeah. And I also, like, it was a period of time after I left school. I got kicked out of school, but like, then I never went back. And then I started getting homeschooled, and I was kind of like locked myself in with like me, and I was just mostly hanging out with my cousins. Yeah. Like who all
those are like your best friends essentially.
Yeah. So I grew up with them. Yeah. And I was just like showing them my apps. We would build apps together. Yeah. Like, it was so much fun.
And they kind of supported you as well. And they're like formative in your journey. Like when you were having those ups and downs of the money's coming in, you're like telling them.
Yeah.
Like,
they were part of it too.
Yeah,
like they were in the, I needed extra help. I'd call them. And
for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's also cool too, like, cause like you would have linked up with your cousins after like a long time in a way, right? Cause like you were in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And then you go thing, and now you're like, oh shit, these are my cousins.
Yeah.
It's a different
in Saudi Arabia. We actually traveled to Sri Lanka every year. Like, my dad was very persistent about like going back every year. So
you have this like thing where you're in Saudi Arabia, it's this new place, then you go to Sri Lanka, and you have this like almost like when you're a kid too, it's like that's like super special. Yeah. Because you like hang out with your cousins, you're like playing great and stuff. So the idea of moving to Sri Lanka to hang out with your cousins more must have been like really exciting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think there were a lot of parts of it that were like, I think you don't think about the cons though. It was just like, for example, your Wi-Fi was terrible.
In Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it was awful. It was like, there was just times you had no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so it was like, like no Wi-Fi or just like no power. There was like so many days there's just no power. And so like, coding during those days was just like insane because you had to like, before your computer battery died or like you also in Sri Lanka, you had specific bandwidths of internet. So we only had 30 gigabytes of Wi-Fi per month. Oh my God. So you had to like really ration it. So it was like rationing like how much.
So you're as you're going through this process, you're like doing this rationing.
Yeah. I was rationing like Wi-Fi, and then they had these like from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day. They had unlimited Wi-Fi. So I would just like I would just like stay up all night just like coding because there's no other time to code. There's no God. Like, and also I was making YouTube videos at this time. Yeah. And when you're uploading YouTube videos, it's a ton of data.
Totally.
So it'd always upload at night. Yeah. So it'd always record at night, upload at night. But yeah, it was like, you had to like really time everything because otherwise you'd run out all the Wi-Fi and your entire family couldn't use it. And you're like,
holy shit.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. So it was like a lot of constraints. Yeah.
So you start saving your money. From this money's coming in. And now, so I guess there must have been a certain point because like you're going from like working on this app to it interacting with the outside world. Yeah. And then there has to be some kind of like shift in your thinking where this money's coming in and your vision starts shifting. Yeah. So what was that?
I wanted to
like, cause coming to Canada, that's a plan.
Yeah. So I think what happened after that was that I wanted to start doing more business stuff. Like I started drop shipping. like after that.
Oh, interesting.
So I put all that money
Yeah.
into other
Yeah.
ventures.
Again, still experimenting with this idea of like interacting with this
Yeah.
internet world.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my first experience with Shopify actually,
Yeah.
and Stripe. This was like also around this age.
Yeah.
And I lost all my money on that actually.
Yeah, for sure.
It's completely like, oh yeah, it was a lot of experimenting. It was a lot of like Facebook ad
Yeah.
stuff. But I went from like, I remember like I was like spending like $200 a day.
Mm-hmm.
In Sri Lanka, that's like a monthly salary on like just random ads that were not converting. And so I think I got over like the idea of like, you know, you can make the money, but you can also like super quickly lose it, but not
Yeah.
get attached to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like constantly, I think, trying these new technologies or like new mediums that were emerging.
Yeah.
Shopify was so new at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it changed my life in a lot of ways.
Shopify did?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Because that's my first experience with like commerce and
I
like
see.
making money beyond like on physical things.
Yeah.
And like really understanding all the dynamics of how businesses work on like
Mm-hmm.
an ad side, on like warehousing, inventory, working with suppliers. So yeah, in a lot of ways, like I remember Shopify when it first like came out, like not first came out, but it was like very early. Stripe just integrated with Shopify back then, and I remember like finding all of those out. And they didn't support like a lot of countries. So in Sri Lanka, you couldn't use Stripe, and so you had to find all these weird. I had like it was like really weird American like shell company stuff that give you Stripe accounts. It was like really sketchy. But,
Crazy.
yeah.
Okay. So how does the plan to leave Sri Lanka form?
Yeah. So I guess after I graduated high school, and so I was like 16, I took a gap year, fully like just doing whatever before I decided I wanted to go to Canada. So before this, I was also experimenting a bunch of things. I worked on a bunch of greenhouses. So this was another venture me and a friend worked on.
Yeah.
It's called the Plant Factory.
Yeah, you can find this, Ravi.
Yeah, this was really cool. This is one of my favorite things I've ever worked on. But we started building these gigantic greenhouses with all our saved money in Sri Lanka for people during COVID, and setting up these like hydroponic systems so they can grow without using soil. It's like fully water based. And
Why did you do that?
Why?
Yeah, like how does that happen?
One of my good friends at that time from my computer science class, he was really into like horticulture and just growing stuff. And he set up this like greenhouse on his grandma's rooftop, and I would always like come there, and I was like really fascinated by it. I was like, and he started making money off of it too. He started like growing tomatoes and selling them to like the guy downstairs. And then so he started scaling it up, and then he pulled me on to build apps for him and like websites and like the control system. And eventually it was much bigger, and the greenhouse got really big, and people really wanted a greenhouse. It was like really weird. And so we started just building these giant greenhouses. Oh, this is not the right. If you try and find the Plant Factory website.
I think it's on his website.
The Plant Factory, you just put Sri Lanka and you'll probably find it. There's also like an Instagram page. Yeah, that's the one. This is my friend. My friend started this. It's this company, but I helped him a lot.
But on your website, you have like process images of like the greenhouses and stuff, right? Yeah, you can find that, Ravi.
My website's kind of down, but yeah. But
I saw it come up in our like when we were researching for this. It came up. No.
Yeah.
It's not here. It was in our research and stuff. But yeah, like so how like you that's like a big shift though, going from like this SnapAPaper app to like this like plant factory thing.
Yeah.
And so why did you find that interesting?
I think it was like the first like physical world interaction. Oh yeah, this is the website. So this is like the first physical world thing that we kind of worked on.
Yeah.
Where it was like your technology suddenly started shifting mediums. So it was initially like this self-contained sandbox where it's like your code runs in an IDE and you're stuck there. And then suddenly you move to like commerce, where now you have code, but it also interacts with the physical world in some sense with like inventory suppliers. And then it goes even more physical world, where it's like physical world first, and then you have software to supplement like a process. Right. So in this case, like this greenhouse, if it was like pumping water or measuring temperature, or needed to like log a bunch of things, you use software to supplement a process and make it much more efficient. So when we were building these greenhouses, they had a bunch of software on them, and it made them a lot better, a lot more interesting to interact with, and a lot more helpful. So I think it was just like exploration, like tech adjacent things, anything that had technology in it, I was very curious about, and seeing like how that could like affect it or something. I don't know. I didn't I don't really know my thought process around it. It was kind of like, oh, this is interesting. Let me try it.
Totally. You just experimenting.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because it's like you're interacting with, like you're working on something and you are like, I think it's like almost like like you're processing or discovering in real time that you can affect the real world.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that. You're kind of like learning that in real time, and, you know, and it's like, okay, well, fuck. Well, if you can affect, you know, it's just almost intuitive. It's like if you can make this app and like tons of people are using it, I don't know, like maybe we can make this greenhouse.
Yeah.
Like why not?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And it was still like in a corpse. There was like a lot of corpses on the way in terms of like the failures. Like basically every Shopify store I started, and it was probably 10 separate businesses that all failed.
Yeah.
So it was like very much like you feel the, I think, pain of it each time, but more so knowing that it's like, you know, I've seen some guy do it. I know I can do it too. Especially with like drop shipping, because there was so much hype around it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was like seeing all these people like, oh fuck, just one more time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it. And it didn't happen, but then like moving on to something.
Totally.
But it was mostly just like a lot of fun.
So how did you get from your experimentation with these apps to Shopify to getting to Canada?
Yes. So now
Because you said you paid for it yourself somehow.
Right. So now I had a bunch of money and or
from
like,
what? The SnapAPaper app? Or no? From the soundboard?
bunch of
for everything?
Yeah.
Just from all these different experiments?
Yes.
Okay,
and then one of them also became Fiverr, actually. I spent a lot of time on Fiverr.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Okay,
like,
so like what would you do?
I would make videos for people.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Like drop shipping ads specifically.
Damn.
So I made a bunch more money from that. And I got my other cousins to help me with that.
Damn.
So it was like all these different things. Like at some point the apps kind of died down, but then the Fiverr thing kicked up.
So all your friends were kind of going to school and you were just being like an internet entrepreneur, basically.
I was just on the internet all the time.
Yeah. Damn.
And I was doing a lot of Fiverr stuff. And then that actually ended up paying for most of my Canada stuff. So then I was able to move to Canada, mostly self-funded. And so I was paying my own tuition from the very start.
Wow.
My
That's
parents
crazy.
were very adamant against like me going.
They were?
Yeah, extremely.
They didn't want you to go to Canada?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I think they just didn't like it, and they were like, "Oh, why do you want to go there?"
Yeah.
So I applied on my own. It was like kind of
Why did you want to come to Canada? Was it like, why not go to the US? Or
because
was it,
then
you were also applying to
because
the
I
US?
could go to I could go to the US. Like
From
I was
Canada.
Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And I could
see.
definitely not afford like 80,000 a year, but I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
afford a few thousand a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I
so
could
that was
figure
the
it out.
that was the gateway.
Yeah.
So, what schools did you apply to?
Waterloo, U of T, MIT, and US, McGill. I got rejected from all of them. Even Waterloo, yeah.
You got rejected from Waterloo too?
Yeah, I got rejected from everywhere except Waterloo Math. They gave me as a backup option, and that was the only option I had. So I was like, oh, Waterloo's the only option I have.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I guess Waterloo's the only place I could go.
Wow.
I didn't even know what Waterloo was, actually. Somebody offhandedly mentioned Waterloo's a good school to me. I was like, okay, whatever. I genuinely had no idea. It was like fully, like, I was so lucky.
Okay, so how old are you then? I guess like 17 or something?
16 applying, yeah.
16
17 I got here, yeah.
All right, so you come here by yourself then.
Mm-hmm.
So you get here at 17.
Yes.
What city did you go to?
Like Toronto.
No, but I mean, like, where did you live?
Oh, Waterloo.
Oh, you went right
Yeah,
to Waterloo.
like straight Waterloo.
So you get off the plane and you just go to Waterloo.
yeah. I see YYZ and I'm like, I'm out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go to Waterloo, and then did you go like ahead of when the school started or like right when it started?
Like a week before.
And so you lived on campus?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I couldn't understand anything.
do you
Everything was
mean?
so different.
Right.
Like it was so new. Like the fact that, I found it so magical. The doors, you had a button that could open on their own. I was just so fascinated by that.
Wow.
I just spent a bunch of time just clicking it. I was just like, wow, this is so unbelievable.
That's crazy because like, so when I met you,
Yeah.
I probably met you like 2 to 3 years after you fucking got to this place from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like this kid grows up in Saudi Arabia, is like in that environment until he's 10. He's like homeschooled, learning Arabic and English, running around those fucking streets. It never rains. And 10 years old, he goes to Sri Lanka, grows up there, fucking around with internet businesses, also homeschooled. Now he's hanging out with his cousins. Then he gets on a plane and he goes to Waterloo.
Right.
And like 2 years after that or something,
But yeah.
I met you, I think. Damn,
Yeah, probably
that's
something
so
like that.
weird.
Yeah. It really is. I think thinking about it now. Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't process it, but then I tell other people like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, I guess so. Yeah. But I think like Canada was so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
Canada was so cool. It was like, because it was like, you know, going from like a developed country to
Yeah.
not developed to like super developed. And you're like, wow, what's going on?
And now it's like also one of the different things about Canada as well. It's like has so many divergent perspectives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like people, you see so many different kinds of people, so many different colors of people.
Yeah.
So many
So
different
cool.
cadence of voices. So much different kind of food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah, man.
It was a
it's
lot to
fascinating.
take in. It was just the amount of like walking down the street in Waterloo and the number of languages you hear.
Yeah.
Like if you really
It's just
pay
in that
attention,
plaza.
it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Like that was the most shocking, one of the most shocking things to me is like
I could see that.
just hearing all these different languages I've never heard before.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So what was the first, like when you got to Waterloo, did you like it?
I loved it immediately.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it was mostly because of the place I stayed in. I spent a lot of time thinking about the specific residency I wanted to live in.
Right.
And I chose this one called St. Jerome's. And that was like such a good decision. It was like,
Is this it?
University of Waterloo.
St. Jerome's.
Yeah, you can see it right there. And it was a really beautiful campus. It was the most expensive one actually, but they had
residency.
Yeah, it was brand new and it was very tight knit. It was like 200 people, and this is where I met all my best friends today.
Wow.
So I met all my friends that like my friend group and stuff, and we would hang out here all the time. We all lived together on the same floor. And it was a beautiful residency, like beautiful bathrooms, very clean, and the food was quite decent. Compared to the other residencies. And it was not like thousands of people. It was like very tight knit.
Yeah.
And so I was able to like really quickly absorb, I think, the culture because I was like hanging out with a lot of people. So yeah, this place was really great.
So I have a super dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have like any kind of accent or anything in your voice.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was
really?
watching all the YouTube. Which
Is that how you learned English, basically?
Or just like accent wise, I think it's fully YouTube. Like just spending a lot of time watching American people.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So I came here, I was like, oh yeah, you couldn't really tell.
Damn. Wow. And so this idea of like, you're like kind of like homeschooled, you're like kind of tinkering with a computer, you're constantly making things. You seem like a guy that would be like really hard to like contain in a particular box, right? Like you want to like break out and make things.
Mm-hmm.
So like that seems like at odds with like school.
I guess so. Yeah. I think I was just kind of doing that anyways, even with school. Like I think school never really contained me in a lot of ways. Like to even throughout my university, like I found all the hacks to like not do school in every way, like ways to like be able to like really contain my courses and do them in like one day. So I really tried to like speed run school as much as possible, or like really put it in the back of my mind. I took a lot of gap terms. I probably have the record for Waterloo gap terms.
What's a gap term?
So entire term with no job or like school, just like me doing my own thing. It was just like around 4 or 5, I think I took.
Really?
Yeah, like most of those for Socratica, but it was just a lot of like gap terms. You mostly
Wow.
most people just do a co-op or like school. This was like the option where you do neither. It was just kind of a dumb idea, but like it was. Yeah, I think it just gives you a lot of. It was just like a time to like explore. Waterloo has a new thing called the e-co-op program now. That's essentially this, and it's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And why is it that in every instance, like it's interesting. The thing I find really fascinating about you is that you're constantly trying. And this might not be like a correct way of describing it. I'm sorry if it isn't, but I feel like you're constantly trying to like, things are like games to you. It seems like, in the sense that like you just mentioned, like I'm going to speed run this thing. I'm going to the idea that removing wasted time or not spending your time on anything.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I think it's also part of it just growing up playing those types of games that are like very speed runnable, or like you're trying to be the best, you're trying to like win, or you're trying to hit a certain goal.
I guess the reason why I'm asking that is because like when I look at something like Socratica and what you built there, or when I look at even like your nuclear fuser project and other things that you've done, it's like you are, it's like you, how do I say it? It's like a collapse of like permission structures or something like that. Yeah. Where it's like you're constantly kind of trying to test, even like in Sri Lanka, right? It's like you're testing like what is actually real? Like what actually matters? Is this system or this thing just like a bullshit way of living? Or can I just like poke this thing and just do this other thing? Yeah. What is that? Like
that's a good point. I think a lot of it comes actually because of Sri Lanka. Yeah. And that it has no rules. Like it is kind of like more lawless compared to Canada. Like if you want to build a greenhouse, you don't have to get a permit. Or I don't think you have to care. Like nobody cares. Yeah. Or it's just like, because it's less developed, like you can kind of do whatever you want. So when we wanted to like build something, we could just build it. There's no like regulator or something coming to us. There's no like, people hardly enforce taxes in their country. So it's like, there's not really a thing that makes you think that, these rules exist or these permits exist or something. And I think that's why maybe, like I try to imagine if I try and do this in the US or Canada, the first thing I think about is like, oh, what rule am I breaking?
Yeah,
or like,
can
what
I
permit?
even do this?
Yeah. And I think in Sri Lanka, you don't even think about that. Like you just kind of, like if there's like a river, you just kind of go take a swim in it or something. It's like, just kind of like people are just kind of doing whatever they want. Their kids biking on the highway. And it's like nobody, it's like whatever. It's just more lawless in some ways, but it kind of also breeds like the mentality of like, oh, why can't I do it? I don't know.
What have you learned through this process? Like, do you think like we're in a world right now where like with tools like artificial intelligence, like with these LLMs, with the ability to build things, like, even mapping it back to like your first experiences on like the internet and stuff like that, like, what do you think is happening right now in terms of like, because like it's interesting to think about it. Like some other kid in Sri Lanka, you know what I mean, sitting in front of a computer. Yeah. Oh, man. You think about the baseline access to technology and learning and stuff.
It's really interesting because on one hand, if I think about if I like planted my like child self into today's world, I would be able to create software faster, obviously, but I don't think I'd be able to maybe monetize it as my skills as easy because, well, it's like commoditized now. If I made the same soundboard app or something to make money, it would probably not make money.
Right now.
Yeah, because everyone's making it or everyone can make it. And so a lot of the appeal to it was kind of because there was this scarcity that nobody else had done it. And so the skill of like sitting in front of a computer and coding like had benefit because you could be better than others. Whereas now it's like, it feels more marginal. Like at least the baseline, the floor is so high now on what you can create. So I don't know. There's like that aspect of it where it's like, like the more like that doesn't make sense to me. And then there's also the side of it where it's like, you also don't know what the ceiling now is. Like the ceiling is just so unbelievably high. Like I can't even imagine. My brother, for example, is kind of like this. He's in Sri Lanka too. And he's cloud coding all the time. Like I give him my API key and he spends so much money on it. He's just like making skills, like making, it's like, and he's like 14. So the way he's going to like see everything, I'm very curious to see how he uses it. Because I think it's like young people and seeing like children especially use these tools that will unveil like these new magical experiences or like how it should be used. And I think they will define what the future of this technology will look like. So I'm not sure. I don't have a good answer, but I think I'm just kind of observing what people are doing and just kind of taking it in and seeing what actually makes sense. But yeah, being a young person now, or like very young, like 14, 13, I don't know. It feels like a great time.
Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Oh, how do you feel about it? I'm curious also, like, I was going to ask you this later, but when you think about your son, like, how do you think about what, like, tools they interact with? How you, like, is there, like, a level of, like, AI you want to let them use? Is there, like, certain things that you don't want to let them use?
Yeah, it's weird. So I have the way my son uses a computer at home, and it's, like, really, it's really weird. Like he has a microphone set up with Super Whisper or something.
Nice.
And so he goes to ChatGPT. So he can type pretty well actually now, but like it's fascinating. He didn't really need to learn how to type. Like he just pushes like this one key and then he just in ChatGPT and he asks it stuff. Which is interesting. So sometimes he'll be like, I need to ask ChatGPT a question, and he'll go and he'll like ask this question about something. But the weird thing about that is that like he's getting his information from like ChatGPT, right? And there's been like some weird implications to that. Like one time he got pretty upset with me when this happened, and I don't know, like I think if people are listening to this, like maybe I'll be seen as like a bad parent or something. Like, but like, so he really likes making things. He likes art. He likes like baking things and stuff like that. Like he likes making food. Definitely likes building things. He loves Minecraft. And so he goes to his computer and he like figures out this like way to like make this edible lava or something. I don't know, like what he was making. And so he gets a recipe from ChatGPT. And I just walk in the kitchen and he's just like fucking making all this shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's like edible lava, let's just say. And I'm like, wait, did you eat that? Like, or did you? He's like, I had a little bit. I'm like, wait, what the fuck are you making? Like, is this actually edible?
That's so funny.
You know what I mean? Like, is that real? And so I kind of panicked, and he got really upset with me.
Interesting.
Because he was like, this is like what we do, man. Like, we look things up. I'm using the technology and I'm making it.
Let's see this recipe.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was this, you know what I mean? But it was just like, I didn't know like what he could or could not eat. I needed to know what the ingredients are. So I needed to tell him like, hey, if you're, you can't always trust these LLMs. You can't always trust this stuff to have the right answers, or, you know what I mean? To be able to give you like the right information. But I think like to your point about the new ceiling, I think another thing that's happening is that the cross, like the ability to go from like one domain to another, like, so the floor is like now anyone can just make an app. Yeah. But then also like you can go and you can enter domains that you could have never entered before. And I think that's where things get very interesting, because it's like you can combine these disciplines and you can combine this information, and you can use software, you can use computers in ways that you would have never imagined. And I think where that affects someone like my son, or where that affects like the world, I guess, in a way, is like, I think it really presses against like what identity is. Like for example, like if you were like a filmmaker and you were a musician, or if you were like a sculptor or a designer and an engineer, what happens is like there is like the reason we have those labels for people is because there's a vast distance between these things, right? In the past, when you wanted to like edit a film, you'd have like these like film strips and you would like cut them. And then tape them together. Yeah. And then that's how you would make like a cut. Now, obviously you can just do that in like Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. And then, you can also do that on your phone and like an iMovie app. Now you could probably do it with like AI and stuff like that. So what happens is the distance between these identities has like collapsing like crazy, to the point where it's like, it used to be like, if you're a musician, you were a musician. If you're a filmmaker, you're a filmmaker. And now it's like, the app you use to make a film and the app you use to make music is for like 4 pixels apart on your like MacBook Pro, and the only thing stopping you from going from like one app to the next is just like swiping your finger over a little bit, right? And that's like a really low friction. And now the crazy thing about LLMs is like, okay, cool, even if you put Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro X on the same computer, which is already super crazy, you've collapsed the distance between these mediums. Amazing. But then also what happens is now with LLMs, you have these like incredible translators. And so not only can they translate, it's not about translating from language to language, but what they can do is they can translate from discipline to discipline. So you can say, you can have this idea, I see this scene, there's like a guy, he's on a street at night, there's like music in the background. He walks, there's like a kind of camera or something like following behind him. He's in the middle of the frame, and then he like walks and he goes to, he kind of turns to the right, he opens a door. And then when he opens the door, there's like, a kind of like a chatter from a restaurant, and he starts walking through the restaurant, and the camera keeps following him, and then he walks down down to these steps, and then he meets up with another character who's like another main character. He shakes his hand, and then that's how we get introduced to the second character, and this guy's name is like HudZah, and then now the camera follows HudZah, and now we're walking through with HudZah, and like you could just describe that scene, and then you can just ask the LLM, like, how would I explain this to a cinematographer? How would I explain this to a producer? How would this become a shot list? What would a sound designer need to know about this? And I think that's like an incredible form of not only like translating your ideas into reality, but you can also ask specific questions too. What camera would you use if this is my budget, what camera would you use for the shot? What lens would I need? What is the best optimal lens if I'm not shifting lenses? And then you show it to a cinematographer, and they'll be like, well, what about this? You just take that question and then they bring it back into the LLM. And because it takes your idea and it can translate between any discipline, how would an editor handle this?
Yeah.
How would a producer think about this? What would the budget of something like this be? You can like keep translating it, and through translating your ideas through these different disciplines, I think it dramatically increases the rate of learning, right? Because you can take this concept, you can see it from all of these different perspectives, and and I think like that was still a barrier, even if you have Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro X on the same computer, and the distance is only 4 pixels apart. You still have that barrier of knowledge, right? That barrier of translation. You still need to understand, like, okay, if you're using Final Cut Pro, what's a 3-act structure? What's a climax? What's an inciting incident? What is Aristotle's plot curve? How does all of this interrelate? What kind of different cutting styles are there? What's a montage? What's a quick cut? What's a shortcut? How, for an action fight sequence, right? Like, how long should a cut actually take? If you watch the opening of Matrix, how is it possible that Trinity's in this room and like within fucking 4 seconds they did this action sequence or whatever it is, right? And it's like, how is that possible? And that is like a knowledge barrier that if you have that knowledge, but now it's like you can get that fucking knowledge too. And so that's what I think is like, what that does is like that distance between these things created identities. You are a filmmaker because you have gone through the difficult process of acquiring this knowledge and learning how to use these set of tools and doing these projects. But when that collapses, what the fuck is a filmmaker? What's a musician? What are you?
Yeah. What do you think people should become then? Like, do you imagine people just kind of generally become like pretty decent at a bunch of things? Or like, like people kind of talk about like, oh, this is the era of like generalists or whatever. But what is it that I guess we miss then? Is like, then does everyone just kind of become good at everything, or like, I don't know, is it the curious that survive and like everyone else kind of like,
I think there will be two kinds of people. I think there will be people that are trying to survive, and I think there will be people that are testing the limit of things. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think the people that are trying to survive are going to try and cling on to some ideas of the way that the old world works. And they'll say like, well, if like now it's easier to do this, then what does that mean? And like how am I going to survive? What am I going to be? And the other people will be like, they'll test the limit. They'll say like, okay, well, you're not trying to go to a particular label. You're not trying to go to a particular solution. What you're trying to do is you want to go to a particular question. And the particular question has never changed. The particular question is the same, which is that what does it mean to be a human being? And how is a computer influencing what a human can or cannot do? That is the question. And I think that's a question you're also like, whether consciously or not, in some way exploring in Sri Lanka. You give a kid access to the internet and access to a computer, and you take him out of school and you put him at a table and you say, hey, let's see what happens. That's what happens. It's like you start using your creativity and your intellect to start experimenting. And I think anyone who is in that state where you're operating with a sense of like curiosity and question, what happens is you kind of stumble to a new ceiling. And I think the alternative approach, where it's like you're trying to hold on to something. I think it's tough because it's like we're moving in a changing world.
This is very much like what we were talking about before on like the, I guess, early eras of like video games and modding culture. It's like people are just kind of like almost depth first searching what is the right approach to something before it finally becomes like standardized, and then you have like the Apple, and then everyone uses this format and don't want to change it. And it's definitely like in that era, is like people are still like in that figuring out stage.
I think so. And I think like what's interesting is that, and you're probably, maybe you like talking about it, maybe you don't by this point, but I mean like that nuclear fuser project that you did, I think it's an interesting project because what it does is it kind of pokes at that, right? If you want to grab it, if you want to find that, Robbie, because I want HudZah's like breakdown of this. But like basically, as far as I understand, okay, you made a nuclear fuser in your apartment, right? And you know, it was kind of like, I thought it was funny when you posted it, when you kind of published it on Twitter, you said like with Claude Sonnet 3.5 with projects. I thought it was like almost a joke, right? Because there was a lot of, I think at the time, there were a lot of people saying that, hey, I did this with this technology. And you were kind of like, it was like a bit of a flex, which I really liked. So you built this thing in your apartment, and this is like super fascinating to me. It's super fascinating to me, and I think first of all, I guess my first question about this project is, what the fuck is a nuclear fuser?
I think the goal of this project was how can I so I was reading about a couple of friends were telling me about that they're working on this project where they're trying to essentially produce a bunch of neutrons. And neutrons are quite hard to produce. It's easy to get like plasma, this like purple glow, because you just kind of have a vacuum and you have a ton of, I guess like energy in this case, or like voltage going through it. And it creates this like really beautiful glow. And so the harder part of this was like, to create neutrons, you have to go through the process of like nuclear fusion, which is where you fuse, in this case, two deuterium atoms, which are like you can imagine as like hydrogen, fusing them together, and then they emit a neutron out when they combine and form like helium or something. This is what happens in the sun. It's essentially like, can you put a sun in a jar and replicate the process that's going on there? Can
you put the sun in a jar? That's what nuclear fusion is?
Or like this project is kind of the idea of like, can you put, or like do the reaction that's happening in the sun inside a jar? Yeah.
That's what this is?
Well, like that, if you had to sum it up, it's not really a sun, but
I know it's not really a sun, but I mean like fundamentally.
Yeah. Like this is what's happening in the sun times a billion, or like many, many times. It's the process of like, two like hydrogen atoms or whatever fusing together to produce a byproduct.
Okay. So, and the interesting thing about this as well is like your experience with it is like limited.
Yes. So, well, I think that
that was crazy.
Got wrong. I mean, I think the interesting part of this is that like the project itself is not that complicated. Like, I think it's like, you see a bunch of college students do it and like stuff. But the interesting thing is how fast it's possible to just, because it usually takes you, like most people I've seen who do it take a few years to figure it out. Because a lot of it is actually like you're on textbooks, you're on forums reading, you're just accumulating knowledge, like, and asking questions. The whole process is just kind of a lot of questions. And, you have to ask these 100 right questions in a format, and you eventually can figure it out because you know everything to do. But that whole question or decision or like question process was just like compressed because of LLMs.
Interesting.
And you can now ask these questions so much faster, and your loop is just much, much faster.
Can you describe like a little bit of it?
So for example, when you have a certain question about a process, so in this case, what type of transformer do I buy that will work for this project as a very basic question. And then the way you would do it before is like, well, you can try Googling it first. You might see some options on some forums, but you don't really know what to choose. And you don't, like some answers might have like one upvote or something. There might not even be a forum. So you don't really know what you're doing. And you kind of have to try and first principle it. So you're like, okay, I need say like X many volts. I need like 12,000 volts. I need this many amperes of current. And then you look at the options. Okay, I know I have these constraints. I need to maybe I could look at this type of transformer, which is more of like a electronic transformer. If you search like online, Amazon for those constraints, you'll find a specific type of transformer. And you'll realize after you buy it that doesn't work. For X reason. Because of certain like ground fault protector or something. And then you look at other options and you find this like transformer. It's called NST or neon sign transformer. and it's really old because it's missing. It's fully like coils as opposed to like these electronic devices or like circuitry, and in this particular scenario, this one would work. So like all of that, you'd kind of have to like, it would just take a long time to figure out. Like you'd have to first buy it, try it, and that's not a bad thing. You learn really quickly and you learn very deeply. But it's also one of those things that's kind of like is the most efficient way to learn by like spending a month just trying to like figure this out. And it may be the case, but there are certain things like where you just want to kind of do it, and the most important is just try it and see what happens.
Yes.
And you don't have to do all this figuring out.
Yes.
And so you just want to get to action, because the action does produce the most information in this case. So in this case, it's like the action is like, can I purchase the thing and connect it and plug it and get it to work, instead of what should I get, or what are the things that match this constraint. So I guess that's some of the like why LLMs would make everything faster. So
it compressed it. Like it's like LLMs have this ability to reorganize information to meet you at the context you're at.
Yeah.
Versus like in the past, it's like you have to rise to the level or reorganize yourself to be able to understand the information.
Yeah.
But now you have the capacity where you can get the LLM to reorganize the information to match your own level of understanding and needs, which is super, super crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable. Like it's so magical. Like this hand can think and like tell you all this information.
Totally.
It's like so cool.
It is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What happened like after you did this? Like this is another project I guess was kind of life-changing for you, right?
I mean, I guess so. I think the problem is like, it feels like this is not the most interesting thing I've worked on.
Right.
Like this is maybe like bottom 10. Like I think some of the other things I've done a lot more interesting.
Why do you think this one's not as interesting?
Because I think it's like, well, I think it's like people have done this before.
Right.
It's not like a novel. I guess it is novel in its own way.
Yeah.
It was really fast. But it was like, I didn't actually expect it to have this much attention.
Right.
It was mostly like I wanted to build a thing and Claude happened to exist.
Totally.
As opposed to I want to use Claude to build something.
Totally.
It was never that thought process. It was more so like just, to me, the most obvious way of doing it was like, okay, I should just use an LLM, right? Like it's so smart. I can organize my information. So it was more so just like project first, and then how can I accelerate this project with technology?
Totally.
I
think the reason why it took off and resonated so much is because I think it represents like a cultural shift in a way.
Yeah.
This kind of underlying pattern that we're talking about. It's not a new pattern. It's not a pattern that has. It's not a pattern that has existed. It's not a pattern that just exists now.
Yeah.
It's like even before LLMs, when you're in Sri Lanka and you're doing this, and it's the same kind of thing. I think the difference is that it is a level of like I don't know what the right word is, like collapse in permission structures, like the cost of like crossing a domain, and like going from one domain to a new.
Yeah.
It just represents, like for you, it might feel natural.
Yeah.
Like from a tinkering creative perspective, you're like, I'm just following it. But when you do use that technology, it kind of represents it. Oh shit. Well, if you can, even though this has been done before, if this guy can just go and do this and do it at this, like in this amount of time, it kind of points at like, oh fuck. Well, what else is going on in the world? Like what else are other people doing?
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
Yeah. I think it was also,
you like baklava, right?
Yeah.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Want to grab some baklava?
I was going to bring, I'll tell you more after, but I was going to, I think what was also interesting about this maybe is that the fact that it was doing something the LLMs were not supposed to do. Oh, thank you. Wow. This is really nice.
Yeah, keep going.
It was doing something the LLMs were not supposed to do, which is like tell you how, it wasn't never able to like tell you to do this. Like it was always rejecting you. And this is clearly like a dangerous thing to work on. In the sense that it would most definitely kill you if you do something wrong.
This one?
Yeah, 100%. Like you will
you
die.
mean like there's like a real risk of death?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the
as you were
voltage
doing this in your apartment.
Yeah.
How much voltage was it?
12,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's like, I've never worked with like high voltage stuff before. So the problem here is that it's extremely dangerous to work on this, like not really knowing anything. And so I think it's mostly the risk factor that was like so like made it so stupid in a lot of ways.
Right.
And
like
so
like more of a stunt.
Yeah, it was very much like stunt behavior. So it's like and the next one was 30,000 volts. And like one touch of that would immediately, you would die. There's no like coming back from that. It's like pre-binary actually.
Yeah.
So,
were you asking the LLM a lot? Like, how do I not die while doing this?
Yeah. That was my most like asked about. Like I was constantly like paranoid.
Yeah.
And it was mostly just like really learning how to be safe or like understanding the danger and then like going backwards at like, okay, what do I need to do to not make this happen? I was so scared. Like I can't tell you, like, I think it's maybe not clear from here. I was terrified when I was working on this.
Right.
I was like constantly just like sweating every time I turned it
Really?
on. Yeah. I was like really, really scared. I
makes
didn't really
sense.
know what I was doing. But I guess that's how you learn. But yeah, it was like definitely not easy. Yeah.
So I got some, we got some baklava from Crown Pastries.
Wow.
Authentically Syrian. So I went to this place, actually on my own too, recently.
Yeah.
This place is really good. They got a location in Ridgeway, but I think this is from their location.
Oh wow, that's very nice.
In Oakville. It's interesting looking at this box. It's got like a CN Tower and a Sky Dome.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So we got some mixed baklava.
Nice.
I think we gotta figure out how to open this.
I was gonna get you some from Baklava Story, but I left the bag on my way to the airport.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I had it all bought.
Baklava Story.
That's the one I was telling you about. Is this like San Francisco?
Oh,
joint?
is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So anyways, that's why I brought this
Yeah.
up because I wanted to talk about this guy Paul Cunningham. I think his name is right.
Sorry, who?
It's like I think that's his name. The guy who's making baklava.
He's a Turkish guy.
Oh, he's a Turkish
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. You can
Really?
pull up his Instagram and see it. But I also have a gift for you, so if you want to exchange now.
Yeah. Wait, isn't there a guy in San Francisco that's making like really good baklava?
Yeah, that's the Baklava Story.
So what's it called?
Baklava Story.
Baklava Story. Can we see that? Oh, what the fuck is this?
It's an ice cream machine.
Oh shit. That's funny, man.
It's yours now.
Thanks, bro. Is it that same one? Is
I
it?
used twice. Oh, I also got you a book.
Oh, damn. Nice.
I think you'll really like this book.
Oh, damn. The modern method?
Yeah. But yeah, this is our house ice cream machine.
Damn.
It's
So-
kind of maybe you want to clean it, but
Yeah. So I'll explain. Let's eat the baklava while we talk about the baklava story.
yes.
Then we'll talk about the ice cream
We'll
machine.
put this on the side.
Then we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
No, you can leave it there.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see how this goes. And then okay. So first, let's eat this.
Okay.
So do you know what all of these are?
Not really. I don't know their names. But
Okay. So which one do you
let's try this one.
want? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah. So this is like feels very like vermicelli.
Pretty good. I went to this place in Ridgeway. You can look it up. It's like, have you been to Ridgeway Plaza yet?
I've never been to Ridgeway.
It's unbelievable, man. Place doesn't make any sense. You can look up Crown Pastries in Ridgeway. And like the interior is like unbelievable. Okay. So this is like the way I describe this place
Wow, 4.9.
is like the NBA of plazas.
Right. I know about it. I've just never been.
There's so much competition that even like the interior, like when you walk into some of the interiors of these stores,
Wow.
they're so nice. They look like palaces.
Wow.
So, anyways, this is go up. That one. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really good. They have like chocolate baklava there. Fantastic. Anyways, so I guess this is from their Oakville location.
Let's try this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a flute.
Yeah. Oh damn.
Surprisingly, this one was not very sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Okay, so
Crown Pastries.
baklava story,
Yeah.
right? SF. So you found this place? You been there?
Yeah, many times.
Good.
I've probably got like 300 pieces of baklava from here in the last
Really?
month. Yeah.
In the last month?
Yeah.
Okay.
or maybe 200. Yeah.
And let's look up the backstory too while we're like finding this. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the story?
Story is the guy, you have to place, he takes orders by paper. So you like call him or you go in and there's just a tray there. He makes them like extremely, I don't know, it's just the best baklava I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's unbelievably good. It's just like someone who cares so much about the quality of it. Like if you go on his Instagram, he goes to Turkey every year to get the harvest of pistachio that he uses in the baklava. So he does his like, he does his own like harvest every year. And then gets all the pistachio and brings it back and then just like makes them every day. You just like walk in and you just pick it up and go. There's like no assortment. There's like nothing fancy. When you want to get it in a box, he gives you a pizza box and you just put it in there. There's like, but people go and they're always sold out. It's just so high quality. It's like, just so like it's just like thoughtfully designed baklava. And he really cares about it.
Can you look into the origin story of this guy? Cause I wrote some notes here. I want to see if it's true.
I forget the founder's name. It's like a Turkish name.
Look up. I mixed up the names. Paul Cunningham is the guy who designed the cancer mRNA. vaccine. My bad.
Right.
But hold on. Look up. Can you find anything? Look up baklava story, or like maybe search on Cloud or something. I think the story of this guy is he's like a limo driver.
SF Standard, SF Chronicle story. Yeah, that one. If you go down. Yeah, that guy. Total gay.
Wait, let's read that subline. His stumble upon bakery on the edge of the mission is a revelation. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Love the game.
Okay, wait, go up. I want to just see what's this guy's backstory. Go to the top of the page. How did he get into this? It says stumble upon, right? Okay. At 9 a.m. on a weekday, Tolgay Karabala is wearing a sweatband on each wrist and the loose, wildly patterned pants of a guy trekking through Thailand. On the back of his t-shirt, it says, "Want to check our nuts." Truly, Tolgay's shirt is boasting about the quality of his nuts. Though his stumble upon bakery, located across from a Best Buy on the edge of the mission, has a handful of bakers on staff, the founder of the baklava story is driving every detail, even traveling back to his homeland of Turkey to harvest his pistachios. Wow. The result of his singular mindedness is hands down the city's best baklava. The skinny little pistachios picked by hand from an orchard in San Lurfa when they're young and still cling tightly to the tree are Tolgoy's babies. Like a proud dad, he gets out his phone to show me video footage of the last harvest he attended in early July, waking at 4 a.m. before it got too hot to do the work. Being out with the farmers, he says, smiling blissfully, "I feel like I'm living life." Keep going. Wow. He encourages me to taste the difference between the pistachio he uses, harvested when they're still electric green and full of fats, and those harvested in the fall, at which point they can be machine picked but are drier and duller in flavor. Why are you interested in this? Just because the baklava is good?
It's really good, but I was like, this guy.
Did you ever think about making baklava?
No. I just went. I had this once, or like a friend just brought it on a trip. And I was like, this is really good. I've tried a lot of baklava in my life, and they're just not this good. Like everything about it just felt like slightly elevated.
Yeah.
So I got curious, and then I went to the place and checked it out, and started reading about him.
Yeah.
I was like, watched everything, how he did it. I don't know. I was just so curious about it. It was like, what is he doing that makes him like? Why is he the best at his game?
Yeah, totally.
For food, which is like mostly commoditized. Like it's hard to like really stand out.
Definitely.
You really have to try to like really differentiate yourself. And so I was just kind of like going through all this. And
one of the things that's interesting about stuff like this is how, he wants to make the best baklava, right? And so he's now going through the process of like breaking that down. So you take baklava, you break it down to its fundamental components, right? What are the fundamental components of baklava, right?
Yeah. pistachio pastry,
pistachio pastry,
and then like the caramel syrup they put.
The caramel syrup.
I think it's fundamentally actually quite simple. It's just like mostly how you bake it.
So then what's interesting about that is like as he starts breaking it down and trying to figure out how to make it the best, he eventually starts like going back to Turkey to get these specific pistachio nuts. It's fascinating that this is what it takes.
Yeah.
The idea that the ingredients of something are so essential that you know what actually makes it unique is that you're willing to go and back, and like he's showing you the process here, and you're going to this tree. I find this stuff super fucking both fascinating and weird. The reason I find that is because I use the word weird as in like it captures my interest and I can't make sense of it. You know, it doesn't compute. And the reason is because like you got this guy, he's like smiling and stuff, right? He's out there. And so what he's doing doesn't make any fucking sense. He's going from where he is back to this random field because he needs these pistachios. He needs these pistachios in this specific state. And he's going to go from here and he's going to come back and he's going to like make this thing in San Francisco, right? So that takes a certain kind of quirk.
It's like irrational.
It's irrational. And he's going to go and he's like making this and then he learns patterns. Cause then because he's like, he gets these nuts and then he brings them back home and then they're kind of fucked up. And he's like, I shouldn't have done this. And then now I got to go back, you know? And so then he finds the patterns of like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And he starts to build all these processes and he does it and he does it and he does it and he keeps going this irrational thing. But this is where it gets even weirder.
Right.
Where it gets fucking weirder is someone brings baklava over to your place and you're like, yeah, I got you some baklava, try it out. And you fucking bite into it. And then you're like, yo, wait, what's going on? Something weird is going on here. You know what I mean? Something like, what the fuck is that? And you're like, and then you start thinking, wait. And then you start mapping back against your experiences. You're like, I've had a lot of baklava.
Yeah.
What's going on here? And then you start being like, yo, where's this guy's place? What's this guy? But that's weird to me because it's like off like you bit something and you're like, wait.
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me. The idea that not only is his pursuit irrational, but the idea is that he is actually searching for something, some nebulous abstract feeling that he's actually moving towards that does translate. In some weird way. It translates where you buy and you're like, holy shit. Holy shit. You glimpse it for a moment. And it took all this like this process.
I mean, this is very similar. Like I think you do it with a food and you feel that process. It's like you like feel the individual ingredients and they're like all just so much better like on its own. It's really cool.
Yeah, I wonder a lot about that, like what that is. I think about that a lot.
It's really hard to like, I don't know. It's hard to like understand. I think it's just like so like fundamentally like emotional, and it's just like, you know, like you can't stop thinking about it all the time. Like I remember after eating that, I was like, wow, I kept thinking 100%. About it. It's just like stuck in my head
300 times or something.
And I bought for gifts and stuff too.
Yeah.
I was just like, everyone needs to try it too. And it's like, part of it is feeling like, wow, I felt this thing. I want everyone to feel this thing too. So it was like, it was just like so like purely like irrational. And
the thing I like about food in general is that I like that it can be this thing that is a kind of like, it breaks boundaries, right? And like, you know, that same quality of something really special, you can experience that in movies and music. You can experience that in like architecture and fashion. You can experience that in hardware and in software. But there's something, what I love about food is that it crosses a lot of boundaries. It's
like universal.
Yeah. Including age. Like there could be a song that's like an amazing track, like Michael Jackson or something, where it's like, you know, universally revered across generations, you know, but that shit still doesn't hit like food.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's not like, yo, you gotta like come over to my house and you gotta try my grandma's cooking, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I like that it's it crosses these boundaries. And it's really, I think like these guys, I'm very in a way like jealous of these like chefs that are like this guy who's making this like baklava, that he's putting this effort in, like just like the idea that he had this desire, like he was chasing this kind of like ephemeral feeling, and then the idea that you catch it. You caught it. You caught it.
Yeah.
And then now you got a fucking lineup out your door.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. It's different. It's
Must
different.
feel so good.
It's different. It's different than like an app or like a you know, some other thing like that. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. It's harder to track down. It's not something you're looking at like analytics and stuff like that.
Exactly. I think I was saying this also with like video games, where it's that similar feeling where it's like you're trying to, it's so like emotional, and like you're trying to like really hit like the emotional ticks of people, and you're not even thinking about it though. You're not like thinking about, oh, is this person going to resonate with this like thing emotionally? You're just kind of like, what do I care about so badly that I want other people to experience it? And like really sharing that creation with other people,
for sure,
and making it like so unbelievably like delightful as an experience, or as a like a product, or as even food. I don't know. I really wish I could speak to him and really understand what's going on through his brain. Yeah. But I haven't. Yeah,
you probably should.
I really am curious, like what is going on through his brain. It's like why, like, you know, and he cares. He obviously, like, I think if nobody even was outside his door, like paying for it, he would still make 100%. It anyway.
Yeah, he has to get that out of his head.
Yeah.
You know, it's driving him insane.
Yeah.
So you brought an ice cream machine. So the story with this ice cream machine is that I went to your place in San Francisco, and I came in, and I don't remember how, but I became fixated with this ice cream machine.
Yeah.
And so I think your friend gave it to you as a housewarming gift.
No, we bought it.
Oh, you bought it. Okay. And I was just basically saying like how this is like one of the dumbest purchases you could make. And, you know, because I was saying that, you know, I think you guys were really excited about having it and stuff. And I just said the problem with the ice cream machine is that like, people buy it, and it's like this amazing experience when you first buy it. It's like, we're gonna fucking make ice cream at home, you know, it's gonna be really nice. But the problem is that with ice cream machines is that you buy an ice cream machine, but you're never gonna fucking use it, right? And so
I would hope you'd use it more than once.
And then my guess is that you didn't use this ice cream machine.
We used it twice.
Oh yeah. But you used it twice. When I was at your apartment and I asked you how many times you guys have used it, you said twice.
Yeah. So twice. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Oops.
Damn, that's crazy.
But I think it, like, for someone, I think ice cream machines can have also a fixation.
Yeah.
Where someone who's really into it can get really into it and like spend all their time just like trying new things. And I think it's like in a lot of ways, like another just medium of like expression, right? It's like suddenly you have this ice cream machine, like you can make sorbets, you can make like yogurts, you can make anything, and you have most of the ingredients around you. It's partially like dependent on like, I think a person who's just like curious enough and like is creative enough to just try a bunch of stuff.
Totally.
And I think like it's also like the skill gap. Like you know, I think that people same fascination with like making coffee, and people get so into it. I think there's like a very similar thing for ice cream. And there's like a really even great ice cream book. I forgot what it's called, but like it goes in such great detail with like temperatures. It's like so scientific that it's like it's really incredible. But I think what's interesting about this is like it's also the fact that it's $100. Like, isn't that crazy? Like. This machine that is like, this is like fully metal, right? And like, you know, it's like somebody, you know, is like thinking about how to make this thing, and it feels like kind of like magic. You're putting like a liquid and turning into this like like edible like half solid that melts over time and tastes really good. Like that's really incredible.
I think like there's a certain set of foods that are like that we love, right? And I don't think people have fully processed how much those foods we love are associated with particular machines.
Broast.
Like broast, like, you know, the broaster chicken, you know, like even a shawarma. Barbecue.
Just
like
deep fryers.
This like ice cream thing. Robbie, can we look up like, I want to look up something here in Claude. Let's see. So one thing that's like a thing that's fascinating is how like certain kind of like engineering machines, like a Broasted or like a Shawarma spit, or these kinds of things, like these mechanical things, are at the heart of particular dishes. That is interesting to me because I don't think that people often think of the engineering behind specific kinds of foods and how specific engineering devices enable particular kinds of food. So what are like in history, what are the most like, what are like pivotal engineering or like pivotal dishes that are beloved by society that would be impossible without a specific kind of like progression in engineering?
Mm-hmm. There's also like I think like the difference between like the machines that existed to produce something versus like a very specific machine for a very specific task.
Yeah.
Like in the case of like, I don't know, like an oven allowed for like pizzas or something.
Totally.
But then, you know, like the shawarma spit, like you're saying, is just literally just for one thing or one thing only.
Yes.
Like this thing's for one thing and one thing only.
Yes.
And I wonder how many other things are like that.
Probably
like,
a lot, man.
Yeah, yeah.
The passer extruder.
That's a good one, yeah. Like
Have you seen what that looks like?
It's like the thing you spin.
Hand rolled pasta.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
This is where it gets weird too, right? Like when you think about this stuff. Yeah.
I was going to show you about that. Have you heard the roti machine?
No. Let's check it out.
This is like, it just reminded me. One of my friends had this. And it was like a Roti-matic. Yeah.
Roti machine?
Yeah, yeah. Roti-matic.
You got to find a video of this.
The CNET one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I need to see a video of this.
Yeah. It's called the Roti-matic.
The Roti-matic. A dream come true.
हेलो एवरीवन कैसे हैं आप सब लोग तो रिसेंटली मैंने एक वीडियो शेयर किया था आप लोगों के
It's not English, but I still understand it, which always glitches my brain.
You speak Hindi?
I can speak a bit, yeah. You should get an English one. Okay, whatever. Just watch it. Whatever. I wanted to be sure this machine was truly worth it. What the fuck?
Isn't that fire?
And I can make my own fresh rotis if I want to, but I have a million other things to do. And in my house, I'm the only one that can make them. The Roti-matic.
Oh, you put a ball of dough in.
Oh, you just put the whole. You just put the mixtures, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just does everything.
Honestly, they are incredible. It means I can press a button and get on with work, dinner, homework, whatever it is. And it also means anyone in the house can make these rotis now, not just me, which honestly feels like freedom. We're eating fresh bread from ingredients I actually choose and recognize, no ultra-processed foods, and because the rotis are sorted, I cook more Indian food, focusing on vegetables and curries.
Holy shit.
Big bonus is that my stove stays clean.
The next
No
$1,000
flour
purchase.
everywhere. The only is a small dough container, which goes straight into the dishwasher.
It's also such a cool piece of engineering.
How does it work? Do you know?
I think you just put the water, flour, and oil or whatever, and I think just seems to.
That's what I'm saying. Engineering to solve like food is like mad interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then I wonder, like, so you think about something like this, right? And it's like it's taking like engineering concepts and like different technologies and combining it all together into this Roti-matic maker thing. And like, you know, you need like certain manufacturing processes to like make this whole thing happen. What I'm curious is like, what happens when you now have a society that has like access to LLMs, access to like 3D printing, the ability to jump into like these different domains, you know, like what kind of things
MCP connected to it.
But it's just like, what kind of like things do people start making?
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. We're so early.
Keep going. The conch machine.
Oh, what's that?
This is probably the cleanest example. Chocolate before the 1870s was a gritty, bitter, lumpy drink. What? Rudolf Lindt. Oh, damn.
Lindt's guy.
Invented the conch. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
That's sick.
Conche. In 1879, a machine that rolls and aerates chocolate continuously for sometimes 72 hours.
Wow.
So that's interesting, right? Because you think about Lindt.
Yeah.
That guy. You'd be like, what I imagined.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, like what I imagined. When I'm like, okay, I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, if that is a guy, like what I pictured is not some guy that's like fucking in a garage, like building machines and shit. I pictured like some guy like, he's like trying a chocolate or something, this is the best chocolate. It's like, I thought of him more as like a curator.
Yeah.
Not
Chocolatier.
Yeah. Not chocolatier. Exactly. Not like an engineer. It's weird.
Was he? I wonder how much of it was like, he wanted to make the thing and then he just happened to realize like, okay, this is the only way I can solve it, and built the thing.
I don't know. I think it's fascinating, man.
Like, was Lint an engineer or just like a chocolatier that happened to care about it so much that inventor? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Swiss chocolatier and inventor.
Wow.
He invented the conching machine and other processes to improve the quality of chocolate.
That's so cool.
He succeeded in improving the quality of chocolate by the development of the conching machine, a lengthwise stirring device which gives a finer consistency and lets undesired aromas evaporate. He was also among the first chocolate makers to add cocoa butter back into chocolate mass, although not the very first one. These two innovations contributed greatly to high quality of Swiss chocolates. Wow. If you look up, if you go to Claude and say like, I can ask it, who is Eskinder Effendi? I think that's his name. And what is his relationship with shawarma? I wonder how many of these guys, how many of these food, these key pivotal foods are just a result of like engineering. He is genuinely Eskinder Effendi.
Oh, this is the guy who made the.
Yeah, he's genuinely one of the most important figures in the food industry that almost nobody outside of Turkey knows about.
Wow.
As Eskinder Effendi, as a child in 1850s, Bursa had the idea of roasting lamb vertically rather than horizontally at his father's restaurant. It was a success, and some years later became known as Doner Kebab. The family started their business with Mehmet Effendi restaurant in the 1850s, engaged in roasting lamb and tandoori chicken, common in Bursa at the time. How can we differentiate the business? And tried to convince his father to pull the lamb up onto the vertical barbecue. His father's initial response was, "Don't invent anything new for us." Iskender first explained the idea to his mother that convinced his father, and they tried the vertical method in Bursa. Eskinder Effendi separated the lamb meat from the bone, arranged it in thin layers on a vertical skewer, and placed it upright next to the fire. At the time, the lamb was cooked on a wood fire as a whole. But with that cooking method, the delicious pieces weren't distributed equally to everyone. The vertical orientation solved this. The fat bastes the meat as it drips down, and you can shave thin slices continuously off the outer layer as it cooks, serving everyone evenly. Isn't this so fucking weird?
Yeah, that it
you know
really
what I mean?
is,
That it's like this random thing, and then this is like fundamentally the cascading effects.
Just like changed everything. Yeah,
changed everything.
Yeah, and it's crazy how it's just like, oh, don't change it. It's like, it's like it was just so crazy because it's like you think it's like a pivotal innovation when it's like really they just like flipped it, right? Like it's just like but that's so dramatic because it changes everything. It's like now they have to slice the meat instead of putting it a whole lamb. Yeah, it's like it's actually probably a lot more than that. And like you think about how
I find shawarma so fascinating, man. Because
which part of it?
Well, it's this idea like, okay, well that history, just this idea that somebody could, shift this going from like a horizontal to a vertical spit, and then it has these implications. That's just interesting to me. Like, it seems, it just reminds me that, oh wait, there are a lot of things in the world where if you just flip them and look at them a different way, you don't really truly understand the implications of doing that, right? Yeah. Like they could be far beyond anything you imagine. That's the first thing. But then the second thing that I find really interesting about it is that if you think about a shawarma, like the spit, it starts in the morning, like they marinate it overnight, and how you marinate it is a process. They pack it onto this spit, and then in the morning they start cooking it. And I find it fascinating that the guys in front of the spit is just like they're managing that kind of like big block of meat all through the day, and you're just eating like real-time barbecue. Yeah. Right? Like they can't leave that shit on. They have to take it off. Like once it's ready, they have to cut it off. Yeah. Right. And I think it's just so cool that you have these restaurants that are like real-time, always on barbecues, and then like people are just walking in, and you're like, they're like, okay, oh, you want shawarma? Okay, cool. They look at it, they're just eyeing it, and they're like, all right, let me cut off the best piece for you. That's just been like rotating. It's just such a great. It's just such a. I think we're so lucky. To be able to just like in this area, the food is so good. It's like you can literally walk into a spot. And there's a rotating spit, real time barbecue, and you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'll have some chicken shawarma. Fuck it. And it's like, you know, that they just cut off. I don't know. I think it's a really cool dish.
It's just like the incredibleness of like, I guess like abundance and just like having all these things and the mixture of all these different cultures at the same time.
And I think like if they don't have, I always wonder like if they don't have the foot traffic, I think that kind of fucks up. Like they have to manage the spit relative to the foot traffic, right? Because it's like
it'll just burn.
If it's just sitting there all day and no one's like taking it, it's like they have to cut that stuff off and manage it and stuff. And so I just think it's different than like if you go to let's say you go to a spot and you order like a particular dish, you know, they'll take your order and then they'll make it for you. Right. I think just the real time element of trying to manage the thing through the day is really fascinating to me.
The fact that, I mean, it's constantly cooking and you need to get rid of it. And
it's cool.
What are other things like that are constantly like, you have to, like, they're constantly on there and you cannot like stop it because once you've made a lot, it has to go out. Like I wonder what other things like that
we
exist.
can look it up.
Because like for like anything else, like pizza, you just like do it when you have like demand.
Okay, so the interesting thing about shawarma is that, you know, when you're like, they're kind of managing this like large spit of meat through the day, like it's cooking, and so they're managing this like this portion of meat relative to the foot traffic, right? Like they need to make sure, like if no one comes in, no one's gonna really like eat the meat, maybe it'll burn. So they're managing this almost like always on barbecue relative to the foot traffic. Now, what other kinds of dishes are there like this, or what kind of other foods are like are there like this where the stakes are kind of high like that, where you're managing something relative to like the foot traffic of that day coming in? It was a good question. Describing foods where there's a continuous cooking process. You're essentially describing foods where there's a continuous cooking process that cannot be paused, and the cook is in a constant negotiation between the food's readiness and the degradation curve. Yes, and the unpredictable pace of customers.
Right.
Let me go through the best examples. Whole roast pig. This is probably the highest stakes version of the problem. A whole pig is on a spit, takes 6 to 8 hours minimum. You commit to it in the morning and you're locked in. In the Philippines, Cuba, and Spain, the lechon culture is built around this constraint, which is why it's traditionally a celebration food. The economics basically require a guaranteed crowd before you start. In places like HudZah China culture or Filipino fiestas, the social occasion is the hedge against the foot traffic problem. So you're like, okay, we're gonna fucking run this,
right? Yeah.
But we're banking on like there's gonna be enough people because it's a celebration.
And then you imagine the food also draws more people in because you're like, oh wow,
for sure.
Yeah. It's like
Peking duck, possibly the most elaborate version of this problem in fine dining. A Peking duck requires roughly 24 hours of preparation. Did you know that shit?
No.
I didn't know that. Air drying. Maybe this is why people are always so excited about this dish, right? I did not know that. So air drying, lacquering, and a specific high heat roasting window. The duck has maybe a 15-minute service window after coming out of the oven, where the skin is its peak crispiness. Traditional Peking duck restaurants in Beijing require advanced reservations, partly for this reason. They need to know how many ducks to hang the night before.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
This is also Texas barbecue brisket. Yeah. This is the American version of the shawarma problem, and the culture around it is explicit. This might be obvious to other people, but to me, as I've been like looking into shawarma a little bit more, I didn't fully appreciate that it was just like a form of barbecue.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was just like, oh, let's get shawarma.
Yeah.
I didn't fully appreciate like, oh, damn, this is like a really cool, unique thing. But anyway, so Central Texas barbecue spots like Franklin's or Snow Cooks briskets, or Snows, cook briskets overnight at low temperature for 12 to 16 hours. They start with a fixed number of briskets based on an educated guess about how many people will show up. Fucking crazy. When it's gone, it's gone. They close for the day. Franklin's famously sells out by noon. The pit masters are making their demand prediction the night before when they load the smoker. The constraint is so well understood that sold out is actually a quality signal in that culture. It means they didn't overcook a hedge supply. What else? Tonkatsu ramen broth.
Oh, birria. I was thinking of that too, yeah. Kanji.
Let's go back to the bottom there. There's a summary. What's common across all of these is that they created social and cultural structures around the operational constraint. The fact that Franklin sells out by noon isn't a bug. It became a ritual, a status thing, a reason to arrive at 6 a.m. Peking duck requires a reservation, which created formality around the dish. Birria, being a morning food, is entirely a product of the overnight cooking schedule. The operational reality shaped the entire cultural meaning of food. The shawarma spit being always on is the same thing. It's why shawarma is a street food, why it works in high traffic urban environments, why the vertical spit became a visual landmark you associate with certain neighborhoods. The engineering constraint and the cultural form co-evolved.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's like it just all builds around.
It was a good question.
Like just like the constraints. And,
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I
pretty
think we're super lucky, man.
Yeah.
Super lucky to
we
be
have all
able
the
to
machines.
to have
Yeah,
these
yeah.
fucking machines.
Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just even thinking about like the fact that there's a different machine for the broasted thing versus deep frying.
Yes.
And like it's boiling it somehow and then frying it and creating like a different texture.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you know, I think that's like, well, like who's making these?
For sure. It takes a certain kind of person. I think you have to be. I think you have to be kind of. You got to have something eating at you in some way.
Or how do you even think about like at what point do you think about like this needs to become a machine that I start selling to a lot of people?
Yeah.
Because there's like obviously like a lot of the engineering work that goes into it, and like actually like being able to even assess is this machine going to make sense or not?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I wonder how that ever worked out. It was like probably like a huge amount of demand for say like ice cream before somebody made an ice cream machine, or something like that. I'm not sure, but then that probably depended on like ice. Like, have you looked at the history of ice, for example? Like I think
Ice
it's like,
as in like the
just
like
ice. Yeah.
The history of ice.
Yeah, because
It's it's just frozen water.
right. But the thing is, like back in the day, you couldn't get that.
Oh, what do
Like,
you mean?
how would you
Wouldn't
get
it
ice?
It's just cold outside. No. Oh, you mean like?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like access to ice whenever
Yeah.
you want.
Because they had to ship out blocks of ice
Yeah.
from like parts of like Canada or something
Yeah.
to like Europe or Africa to treat like injuries.
Oh my god,
Like
man.
there was a whole ice business. Have you heard of the Ice King? Like the story of this guy.
No, let's see.
It's really cool, and it was like one of the biggest industries for a while.
Ice King.
Yeah, the Ice King, and not from Adventure Time, like in real life one, or I forgot what it's called. Yeah, Frederic Tudor.
Frederic Tudor was an American businessman and merchant known as Boston's Ice King. He was the founder of the Tudor Ice Company and a pioneer of the initial international ice trade in the early 19th century. He made a fortune shipping ice cut from New England ponds to ports in the Caribbean and as far away as India and Hong Kong. Holy shit.
And they had to come up with all these innovations to keep ice like
Cold.
solid all the way there.
Did it say he made a fortune?
He made a lot of money.
Tudor was the son of William Tudor, a wealthy Boston lawyer, and Delia Jarvis. Although his older brother, William Tudor, would become one of the Boston's leading literary figures, Tudor spurned the chance to be educated at Harvard, and from the age of 13 occupied himself with business. After a visit to the Caribbean, he decided he could make a fortune exporting ice from the ponds of Massachusetts. Holy shit.
Yeah.
How... Wow.
They would just like cut them out and like just sell them. Like it was a whole like industry.
It's crazy because like he has the cost of like labor to get this ice and shit.
Yeah.
But it's literally like there's no like material cost.
Yeah, yeah. It's fully labor dependent.
Wow.
But the crazy thing is people would pay a ton of money for this because, well, this is also how iced drinks in the Caribbean became popular. Because before this was possible, people drank warm drinks.
Oh my God.
Like imagine going to the Caribbean and you get a drink and it's like warm.
It'd have to be warm.
Yeah, because they had no ice. So this like
Man,
invented
how much
the whole,
was an iced drink?
Yeah.
Shit must have been like $1,000.
So expensive, yeah.
Imagine that. You're just bawling out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Just put a couple ice cubes in there, $1,000 each.
Oh man. Yeah, that must have been like magic. Like people must have loved that. I think that was like, like that must have been an insane feeling. Like imagine seeing ice for the first time. Like you've never seen this thing before.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Caribbean.
Yeah, you've never seen what
it
ice
would look
is.
like diamonds.
Yeah, yeah. And you drink it and suddenly everything's like, wow, it feels so good.
And it's like also like it melts too. So it's like
Yeah,
it's this
it's like temporary, you know, like
yeah,
oh,
it's like this
fucking got it.
temporary
Yeah, yeah.
diamond. It's like, what are you gonna do with it, man?
This is like an opposite, like operational constraint, where it's like it's going to disappear again, and so you need to use it. And so there's like another like almost like constrained with like how fast you have to get rid of it. So it's like you create like more demand as a result of like this product literally disappearing and like evaporating fully. Isn't that crazy? Like, yeah, it's like shawarma.
it's like a super extreme version of shawarma. It's good, man. That's a good reference.
Yeah.
So what's this book? Let's see. I'm gonna put this on the screen.
Yeah. Also, can I do a time check? Just wanna.
Yeah. I don't know. What time are we at?
12:40.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to leave soonish.
1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We can wrap. So, the modern method.
Modern.
It's on audio focus. So what is this?
So this is a book. So a friend of mine, Riley Walls, he recommended this book.
Yeah.
He's like the tech prankster guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. So he or like from whatever he told me is like he basically lives by this book.
Oh, really?
Or like everything he thinks about is because of this book. It's like some random like artist that wrote it. But I bought it and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, this is really good. Like, if I had to give my younger self something about how to live my life, this is probably what it would be.
What do you think is good about it?
It feels like it distills a lot of the principles of how I live my life, or like the way I think of my life in terms of the permissioning.
Is there a particular page or like a particular one that really stuck out to you?
Not necessarily, I think. It was most so just like going through page by page, just like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. And it feels like I just thought you'd find interesting. Because I think it captures a lot of like principles in like a single, like tiny, concise book, and it's like very direct.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Here, read this one. This one, Nothing Better.
Nothing better. A lot of this book is about dealing with the difficulties of being creative. But don't forget that there's nothing better than having a creative project to work on. It gives purpose and meaning to your life. It connects you to your friends you collaborate with, and it might connect you to fans who are so moved by what you do, they make contact with you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely worth the effort. Yeah.
Crazy.
Feels like that's like the, bow tie and everything we kind of talked about. It's like
Yeah.
Baklava, like, yeah.
There's so many other things I wanted to talk to you about, man.
Yeah. We'll run it again.
Yeah, we have to run it again.
Yeah.
This is how it always goes on these first ones.
Oh, really?
Man. I needed to know your entire life in Sri Lanka first before I can understand anything about who you are. Yeah, man, it's gonna be really interesting to see what you do in your career. I've told you this like a bunch of times, but it's gonna be super, super fun to watch, man, because I think you have this kind of like energy, and you have this like desire to try things and create things, and it's just gonna be crazy to see how this all unravels. And just like now, I think like hearing about how you grew up, it makes me like, I'm just super blown away by you, man. Like,
Thank you.
I think it's like, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely nuts. This kid from Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, ends up in Canada, goes to Waterloo, and then you're working on all these cool projects. You got these great friends. Like, it's really, really impressive, man. It's really cool. Cool. I have 1,000 other questions, but you got to go, man.
I was going to ask you some stuff before.
Okay, sure.
It was like my part of my reverse interview, actually. I asked you some of them, but I was very curious about what are things that you've kind of thought about and you've completely realized you are not interested in or uncurious about. Like, completely just like you cannot force it.
Wow. Okay. Okay, this is a weird one. This is a weird answer.
This will be good.
I would say that making money.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's not to say that I don't like to make money, or that I don't think that you should make money, but I think like coming at things from that angle, with that in mind from the beginning, I think is mad uninteresting to me.
Wow.
I think it's more interesting to think about that as a side effect. That's not to say that that's not it's not even, and that's not to say that you should be not pursuing it, and that it's like that it's a side effect and you should not pursuing it. I just find like when you come at things in that way, I feel like your work lacks like a particular texture, a particular like it's not as like interesting or something. It feels more like shallow or something.
Do you feel like this? I guess the curiosity about making money was like. Or like the lack of curiosity of making money was like a gradual shift over your life where like say, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people say grow up like less fortunate and they really care about money and they think about the scarcity. And then when they grow older and they suddenly have an abundance of it, they suddenly shift. Do you think it was like a consistent pattern across your life or is it like a shift?
I think it was like a consistent pattern. And I think at times I have tried to pursue it because I thought that was the right thing to do. Like when you were talking about experimenting with like internet companies and like trying to like make some money and see how it works. I think I was also doing that. I was also doing that kind of thing, but I didn't realize until time went on that what was actually interesting to me about those things wasn't like the money aspect of it, but it was whether I could like affect a larger scale system, like this interrelationship between like, can I just make something and then it starts changing my life in some way, which allows me to unlock more new projects. And so I think that, I think it's like, I've become more conscious of the kinds of energy and the kind of signature to like when I move in this way, my work is better. You know, my work is more authentic. It's more pure or something. And when I move in this way, it's like I don't get as much energy. Right. I don't. It feels flat.
How does that like a lot of it? Or how do you imagine? Or how do you balance that? I guess with like the sustainability of something because like naturally it's like a lot of it like. What money can help you is like take more shots for something. So like how have you balanced, I guess, this pure pursuit of like wanting to do something, kind of lack of interest in money, but also like needing to do something about it. Have you made like almost like the sacrifices in certain cases? Have you regretted it as a result? Like what has it been like?
I think like the way for me is I have to look at it on a system level. I can't look at it directly. I can't look directly at the money aspect of it because it just like, it doesn't like my creativity stops. So if I evaluate it like, someone will ask you like you're tinkering with something and you have like maybe it's not like this for everyone, but you have someone come up to you and they're like, or maybe your friend or someone older or whatever, they come up to you and they're like, well, how is this going to make money?
Sure.
And it's like if someone's just tinkering, they're not really thinking how this is going to make money. They're not thinking about that. This, what they're doing is they're pursuing some thing, this itch that they have, and they should pursue that itch. Like the idea when you say like, how is this going to make money? You're basically saying like, hey, this thing that you're doing that you don't really even understand what it is. How are you going to re-architect that entire thing so that you can extract a certain amount of value from it, so like you can keep continuing, but you don't even know what it is. But there are other times where you want to like sustain a life. You want to like sustain a creative life. And it's like, how are you going to do that? And I think like that, the only way I can get interested in that is when I think of it as a system level problem relative to something else. So what is the appropriate way of sustaining this kind of work and experimentation in order to keep going deeper into these like questions I'm fascinated by? That kind of question can help me understand how to make something sustainable. But if I just say like, how does this make money? It's my creativity falls flat.
I guess it's never like your opening question coming.
It can't be my like opening question.
Product,
It can't be my opening question.
I wanted to also ask about what has your obsidian revealed about you?
Oh, fuck.
It's probably very deep, but like,
I mean, I could look it up and then share some.
Was there anything in particular that was very surprising?
Well, I have this command in Obsidian called, I won't plug it in, Robert, but I have this command in Obsidian called Stranger.
I think I read it.
This might be like way too embarrassing. Like, let's see. So this command I have called Stranger. Basically, it's a Claude Code command, but it uses the Obsidian CLI. And what it does is it reads the entire vault and writes a portrait of me as if to someone who's never met me.
That's a good one.
This shit does.
Have you tried it before? Or like?
No.
Oh, first.
I mean, I have, but no, not really. I'll run the stranger portrait. This requires deep vault exploration. Yeah. It's fucking... Yeah. What's your next question? We'll go while this is...
Yeah, I was going to ask... actually, these are all very disjoint because I was just generally very curious. But this, I kind of asked you a bit of this before, which was on raising children today.
Yeah.
Because I think you have this very interesting perspective, both as like someone who has a young child and also... you know, like very deep in like what the future kind of looks like, and have like a kind of good understanding of how you want your, you know, the next generation to interact with this like alien technology. What are you saying that I guess your son is doing that is, you know, like different to you when they're interacting with the tools? Maybe like the voice one was a very interesting example. Have there been others?
I think like, so there's a couple things with my son. Like, he doesn't, like he uses a computer, but I've never given him a phone ever. And we've never given him like an iPad or anything like that. So if he's ever got it, he's got it like from his friend or something like that. And another thing that about him is that like he's really good with a keyboard and mouse. And that might seem kind of odd, but like when his friends come over and stuff like that and they see that he has a computer, they don't necessarily know how to use a keyboard and a mouse because they interact with computers, like iPads and stuff. And what I did not want...
That's weird.
Yeah. And
that's
so
really new.
Yeah, I didn't want him to like. I didn't want him to interact with a computer at that level of abstraction. Right. So he knows how to use cursor and stuff like that. And then the other thing that's like kind of different is that his relationship with a computer is that it is something you talk to and it has the capacity to make things.
Wow. It's like the Steve Jobs vision of like how
something like that, right? And so it's like it's a different kind of relationship where it's similar to like I guess like the way you and I use a computer, which is that you can, especially with the internet, you can like make something and then, you know, like you did when you demoed, you got like feedback and you made it happen. But now it's different because he's making something that he wants for himself. So that's like another big difference. The other thing is this: I often feel, for better or worse, this is just my opinion, I often feel whenever he's in, like going to school and stuff like that, I just feel like he's wasting his time. Like I feel that pretty strongly, and I try to like, I don't really know what to make of it yet, but I feel that I feel like it's often like a waste of his time, and I think like, you know,
why?
Because I think like a lot of like these permission structures and like a lot of these, like I think like the world is at a point right now where you can just start working on the world.
Yeah.
You can just start working on it, you know? It's just like what you were doing. You know, I think like more people should experience that where, you know, you're like, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do today? You know, what do you want to do today? And he's like, I want to bake this thing. I want to make this craft. It's like, all right, cool. What do you need? What do you need to do it? Yeah. And just start doing it. This idea of like this structured like learning environment, I don't know. It just seems really... It just seems like it's like really outdated now at this point.
How do you think that's shifted, like, I guess, like parenting style or like how you treat him at home and stuff?
I think
it's like, do you like supplement him with the things that school is kind of already teaching you and then you show him that stuff later?
Yeah, my wife might not like this, but like I what I do is I kind of like, I suggest a little bit of like a slight doubt about the world in a way, right? Where I like through, and which I have as well, which is like, you know, I'll ask something and I'll be like, is that the way it works? You know, is that way? And like we end up in a lot of arguments because, but it's like I push back a lot, you know, because of that. Because I think like it's important to like be able to walk around the world and like ask questions and stuff. And I'll also tell him things like, you know, like if he sees something and he's fascinated by it, I'll tell him, hey, did you know that this didn't always exist? You know, this thing that you see right now, it wasn't always like this. Could you believe that? Like one time it wasn't like this. He's like, then what was it like? You know, so just showing that everything is on a continuum, everything is in progress. And at the same time that you should never stop asking questions. And yeah, and then the other last thing is just like, man, this is like, you know, this is the hard part about being a parent is that like you see this person and you see this thing growing up, and when they grow up, they don't ever judge themselves. Like there's not this like self mirroring where they're looking at themselves, being like, am I right? Should I do like this? Fuck, did I say that wrong? Should I have done like this? They're not meta analyzing themselves. And so they're just like these pure spirits, and you're just watching this like vessel of expression. Yeah. And then through the process, you watch them kind of shift slowly.
Where they start external social.
Where they start second guessing themselves, or they start analyzing themselves. And as somebody, you know, you've seen this pure thing. You know, it's for me personally, it's very sad to see that. And so another thing is just like finding a way to just be like, man, like I tell them every day, like, you know, or if I, you know, when now I'm working a lot, like, or like coming here, right? But when, you know, dropping him to school, or telling him in his ear or something, or when I pick him up, I'm always like, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. I just keep repeating him. Like, you can do anything. You can be an architect. You can be an engineer. You can be a fashion designer. You can be, I just keep reminding him that you can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. I just keep saying it, you know?
And do you imagine it's like mostly like school that's kind of, or not school, I think it's just like other people or like people maybe more pessimistic that are kind of just like reinforcing.
I think it's just part of life. Right. I think part of life is like, you have to, you are this person, you are this spirit, you are this energy, and you start off, you like creating things and you don't even think anything of it. And then what happens is, a lot of it, I think, depends on like how you grew up, your upbringing, like your parents and stuff like that. But then you go out into the world and you start shifting and you start changing who you are, and you try different things. You know, everyone goes through that process. You try different things. Some stuff you do is cool, it's good. Some stuff you do is you're kind of an asshole. You know, you kind of you're making bad decisions. You're not always being a good person. And so then through that process, what happens is, for some people, I think you kind of like go down that path, and you either become like, some people become stagnant, they become sad, they become depressed. Some people go down a path where they go down they spiral down a very negative path. And I think some other people find a way in some way to return to like who they are. And it gives them a sense of like, it gives them a sense of confidence that this is who I am, this is who I've always been. But then you also merge with all of the shit that happened along the way. So you connect back to like this kind of core energy that you had, but then you have like whatever, you connect it with everything that you learned along the way. And so you're a little bit of who you are because of your life. And then you're a little bit of who you've always been because of who the fuck knows, right? And so I think that, I think that's what I wish for. So I know it scares me and it worries me, because I know part of life is my son has to go out into the world. He has to get hurt. He has to, you know, and that really, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like before I had a kid, I was like a fearless, I didn't give a fuck, you know, it's like, I was just like, whatever, man. And then what happened is when I had my son, it just started rewiring my brain. I didn't even want it to happen. I want it to stop happening. Right. I don't want to be this emotional. I don't want to be this attached to anything. I feel compromised. And so like it's hard to like think like I would rather, it's like a very irrational. I would rather experience the pain myself than have him experience the pain. And so the reality is that he has to go through his own hardships, his own ups and downs. And so for me, I just tell him, man, maybe if I could be a voice in your head, maybe when I'm here or when I'm not here, that he's like, you know, damn, every day my dad was like, you can do anything. You can do anything. Sometimes I'm really busy, man, but I still try to grab him. I just whisper in his ear, you know, hey man, remember you can do anything. He's like, all right. You know, okay, man, I get it. Yeah. Anyways, There's so the stranger command, I don't know, man. I have to read this. Who knows?
Is it going for long?
No, it's done, but it's so much. Like, it's like,
I was going to add something to what you were saying before and like the hurt part, which is like, there's a recent study by, I think, the Ontario like Pediatric Association on like how they recommended children to get like injured more, in the sense that they should fall off a swing, or like they should fall on a curb or something and scrape their knee. And that was actually like kind of a controversial thing to say for that association, which is like quite interesting. It's like how people's like mentality has shifted over time. To be just like super risk averse, like just like really trying to like, you know, shelter your child and like not.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think it's happening more, because I think what happens is like people consume like different forms of media, which is a whole nother topic, which is they form specific kinds of media. It's fascinating. It's like when you're talking to someone these days, I feel like I'm talking to them, but I can also get a sense of like, oh yeah, like you're in that pocket of the internet.
It's like their
algo.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can almost get a sense of what their algo is like. Yeah.
What do you think is mine?
I think your algorithm is one where it's not just the internet. It's not just the internet. I think you're around in a very interesting group of people that I think are constantly poking and pushing at you in different ways, pulling in like new references. And I think it's you're having an experience where you're really expanding your sense of what is possible, and you're expanding your sense of like the different references and places that you can pull from. I think it's a pocket where it's about you're learning from the past, you're learning from the future, and you're forming your sense of vision and your creative voice as a person. I think it's a very formative time for you. So yeah.
What did the stranger say?
Oh yeah, it said first impression. The first thing the stranger notices is velocity. 348 daily notes in 9 months, many running 2,000 to 5,000 words. The person behind it writes the way others breathe, constantly, reflexively, as though stopped would mean falling. As though stopped would mean falling. The notes are not polished. They're raw, dictated stream of consciousness processing that often starts with a task list and spirals into philosophical territory before snapping back. The voice is unmistakable, direct, restless, toggling between concrete urgency and sweeping claims about humanity. This is someone who thinks in real time on the page and has built an entire infrastructure around making this thinking operational. Yeah. The stranger expected to find ambition and found it, but they also found fear, confusion, and a specific kind of loneliness that comes from I can't even read that. Shit. Let's see. What else do we got here? What they're building towards. Let's see if I can get to a conclusion. The generosity that cannot receive. Give more than you take is a core principle, stated with the highest confidence marker. The person lives this. But generosity has a shadow form, the inability to receive. In the revolt, there is no record of asking for help. Not from my wife, not from friends, not from a therapist. Yeah. The person does never mentions being cared for by anyone. The pattern: give, build, create, serve. Never receive, rest, be held, be carried. That's pretty deep. I don't know how true that is. I feel like I'm depending on motherfuckers every day, bro. Yeah, I'm depending on people every day, I think. But yeah, I think like there's a lot of depth, man. It keeps going. It's like the philosophical ceiling. Wow. One knows everything about you. Yeah. The unasked question.
I'm very fearful of publishing like writing online now. Like
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I just don't want people to have like this view of me that they can like exploit.
Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I just am
like that. You mean?
Right? Yeah. It was not like that exactly, but like just like being able to like go to like some deeper level and understand what I'm motivated by, or like like weird things that I don't even think about.
But I think that's like inevitable at this point.
Maybe, yeah. It likely is, like just based on like tweets.
They scrape your tweets. Yeah. They're gonna scrape all these articles that were written about you when you did the nuclear fuser thing. Yeah. And then they're gonna take this podcast transcript now. You know what I mean? Shit. And then they're gonna be like, "Hey, who is this guy? Yeah, who really is this guy on a fundamental level?" Yeah.
I think there's some pretty powerful tools out there that can be used in interesting ways. You know, there's so many interesting ideas like that I was thinking about, like even after the fuser stuff, like that you could build with AI that no one has yet. Yeah. Like I was talking about the mRNA vaccine for the dog, but no one has tried building up, and this might be a bit more like fucked up, is like no one's tried building like a bioweapon on their own. And everyone's like super fearful of it and stuff. And like all the labs are thinking about it, but I've never seen anyone do it. So I can't tell if it's like a real fear or not. Like how hard is it? I think if I had more time, I would definitely love to like work with a lab or something and like
to try and make a bioweapon. The weird thing about that is like they totally can.
Yeah. Well, I'm either
Meaning
like,
like
no
it-
one's telling you about it or like something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be very.
That's another weird thing in general about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Is that in the same way you have the capacity to create a nuclear fuser, like the range of things that you can
I
create
think so. Yeah.
is like I don't think people have fully processed this.
Yeah.
At all.
I really think not.
And that doesn't even that's just a knowledge thing that also like that doesn't even factor in the fact like the kinds of electronic units you can get from some of these like from some of these websites and stuff like that. Like I don't remember what it's called, but like there's AliExpress and Alibaba. We didn't even get into your China trip.
No,
Oh my god. You gotta do a part 2, man. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I love you, man.
This
Thank
was
you for
a lot of
everything.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
too.
I learned a lot.
Me too, man.
Oh, man.
Good stuff.